whole fucking way over here.
This isn't bad at all.
Nick Folk's gonna miss every kick he ever fucking tries.
Yeah.
I think he's going 3 for 3 tonight. Oh yeah. No,
It was the wrong one, homie. It's been a while.
Is this the Florida State hype video?
This is Paul Jarchian, and you are listening to The Butthole.
This is
the D.
No Florida State this week, baby.
second OG one.
Welcome to the official Butthole Podcast.
As we got rid of our first one
Everything you
because
need
we had
from
swearing
sports
in it.
to entertainment. Now,
We should rip out that
introducing your host,
We have it somewhere?
Fuck yeah, I got everything.
the great Brandino,
Okay.
Gage's Rage, and Star
Lamar.
Star Lagon. Bitch ass.
Moment of silence for what was known as Star Lamar's last podcast.
Or the Iron Hammer.
Yeah, that's enough. We'll see you next time, Star. Good luck with your herpes. Hopefully it clears up. Welcome
That
into...
doesn't go away. Yeah.
Don't tell Star's babysitter that.
Yeah.
This is a December
What?
podcast. Our first official December podcast of 2021, you guys.
Hell yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And
People
because
said we wouldn't make it to December.
Star said we wouldn't do it. And he tried to not come, so we wouldn't do it.
he did try to sabotage us.
He also is not showing up for the show.
Yeah, weird.
Star did try sabotaging us, but fuck him. We're here anyways.
Yes.
And Scott
And
looks like we're in the Arctic.
Yeah, he's all bundled
Scott
up
has
over
a hat
here.
on because he's bald.
sweatshirt,
He has bad
jacket,
genetics. I have a jacket on that has
stocking cap,
zipped up as high as I can have without it pinching my double chin, and I got Brandon's blanket on my legs.
sweats underneath the Sherpa-lined blanket. That's a cold man over there.
I will say, you guys, I think it's like 4 degrees out right now in Minnesota.
With a negative 20 wind chill.
Once
Is
it
it
gets
really?
below 10,
It's chilly.
you fucking find your holy socks real quick. I got 2 on right now.
And 2 pairs of socks on right now, too. Wow.
Yeah.
Long underwear?
No, I don't wear long
You gotta
underwear.
tuck the long
You don't wear
johns
underwear.
into
That's the
the
trick.
long socks.
I
That's
used
the
to
maximum
wear. I used to
protection.
wear long johns when I would go out deer hunting, but due to global warming, which is a great thing, I don't need to anymore.
It
It's
doesn't
nice
even
out
get
now.
cold in November anymore.
You don't even need the heater.
Most people are like all worried about it. I'm a fan. I just
God
want to
bless
plant my
fossil
flag.
fuels, man.
I'm a fan.
You know who's not going to have their sleeves ripped off this evening?
Who?
Well, it's not me because I went to the fucking Friendsgiving with Scott. It's going to be Bill Belichick. It's a fucking blizzard in New England right now.
Oh, yeah. I saw like 6
I
snowflakes
think it's in
falling down
Buffalo.
It is in Buffalo. The game's in Buffalo tonight.
In New England side of the field of the Buffalo Stadium. Let me finish my fucking sentence, dummy.
Sorry.
there. Oh, okay. It looked like one snowflake was falling down, and I'm not talking Joe Biden walking up an escalator.
We need to get a wellness check as well on Gage's Rage. 'Cause
Oh,
his
come
dynasty
on!
team.
Let's talk about this guy over here. Interim producer Alex is over here. He's got, as of Monday Night Football, 31 points in his fucking
31.7, thank you.
Yeah,
I was actually gonna
0.7.
shit on his. I was actually gonna shit on his team, but then I looked and I was like, "Fuck, dude, he's got injuries, overall lack of talent. He's got a lot working against him."
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about scammers, we should go to the Sleeper League with Scott.
Oh, with that's coming up. Let's go talk about poor Gage over here. Loses Christian McCaffrey after
Talk about
acquiring
me for a
him
second. I want a sympathy.
in a massive deal before the season started. Christian McCaffrey ends his season at possibly the worst point for Gage's Rage, while DeAndre Swift also gets hurt with a shoulder injury, and the team's like, don't worry, we'll win without you against my favorite fucking team, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep, that's
which is going
unfortunate.
to come up in a few minutes. All the while, my favorite Viking player, Adam Thielen, goes down on the first fucking drive after he looked like he was getting targeted downfield. He was getting targeted in that first drive.
Well, he generally does.
It was like 2 targets, maybe.
The deep shot and the screen, it was like, this is an Adam Thielen kind of day. Ends up being a high ankle sprain, MRI, still out in the wind right now. Not looking good. Didn't practice allegedly at.
He will not play. There's no way he plays
There's
Thursday
no way he
night.
plays this season, man. He's
Probably
fucked.
not.
He might not play the rest of the season. He's
The way our season's been going, there's probably no reason for him to come back and risk hurting it even
So
worse.
I check my fucking team round the clock, like every hour on the hour. Little did I know I wasn't checking the right fucking player. Keenan Allen gets COVID. What?
Season-ending COVID.
Stop!
Yeah.
It's not season ending.
It is.
He's considered day to day, supposedly
He's
against
going
the
to
coach.
end your season.
I'm playing a Packer player this week, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I have to play A.J. Dillon.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. There's a lot of time left
My savior.
before you have to hit the submit button on a Packer play in your lineup. So just don't overreact yet, Gage. Just calm
You
down.
have the email set up, Brandino?
I have emails come through of people I play. I won't be playing you next week because I got crushed this week. So,
Who crushed you?
I don't know, some guy with a
My
pedophile mustache.
fantasy season is slipping away, and I fucking destroy Brandon by 50 points? 50 points? Oh, you still have Dawson Knox, who might put up 45, so it'll be close.
Yeah, you're only up 60.
bitch.
All the while, I'm going to lead the league in points going into the last week of the season where I could potentially win $75 for winning points for.
And you don't even. You
And
can't
I don't
even
have a starting lineup. I could have fucking had Jamison Crowder to field a full roster. What is
Yeah.
going on, man?
Yeah, but at least with Keenan Allen getting COVID, you can slide him to the IR spot and pick up, you know.
Kenny, though?
Fucking,
Jamison Crowder?
yeah.
I mean, he's already rostering IR Will Fuller, Chase Edmonds, out Deshaun Watson, out DeAndre Swift, out Adam Thielen, out Keenan Allen. Not to mention his IR spot is
Yeah, you
filled
didn't
with.
want to make fun of him because his team's full of injuries. Look no further, buddy.
You need Adam Thielen to get COVID.
You might be flexing a kicker.
If Adam Thielen gets COVID, you're going to be in good shape.
I've never wished COVID upon someone. But if Adam Thielen could slip
If
into
somebody is
a
going to get it.
go north a little bit on his
fine.
time off with his ankle injury.
Deshaun Watson, too. I mean, he could get COVID. That'd be fine. He's not doing anything anyways.
He's a healthy scratch every week.
Yeah,
It's
just let's
so
make
tough.
it an unhealthy
the
stretch.
dynasty league where you're looking at the future is so tough. But when you have the number 3 overall quarterback, the number 3 overall tight end, you know, the number 1 overall defense, or sorry, number 2 overall defense, it just gets better. You know, you can look forward to some other things.
Former number 1 overall running back.
That's true.
He was 2 years ago.
3 receivers in the top 10 if Thielen plays that game. I mean,
Can we just really quick talk about McCaffrey? Like, what does his outlook look like moving forward? Where is he going to be drafted starting next season? Is he even going to be a top 5 running back?
Top 5 in yearly or top 5 in dynasty?
Let's just talk yearly. Dynasty, no way.
No.
Dynasty, he's like
He's got
maybe a top 10 running back still, maybe.
I think for sure he'd be a top 10 running
But
back.
he's not a top 5 running back in
top 10
Dynasty.
running back. I don't know if he's a top 10 player, though.
No, he's not. No.
Yeah, I mean,
In dynasty.
Top 20 player for sure.
it depends on your league format. I mean, if you're
That's
a 2
true.
QB league, quarterbacks have a lot of value.
Yeah.
Let's just say
tight
standard.
end premium.
Standard tight end premium.
Standard
Super
PPR
flex.
league.
Standard PPR league. God damn, that's the throwback.
Then definitely.
No, I think he might slip into the top 5. You got Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
You
Najee.
have Najee Harris. You have.
Toronto Williams.
Does he come into top 5?
He's going to be top 10 for sure.
He's in the conversation.
I think there's a lot of offseason moves. This would be a great talker in July.
I know. I just was really quick. I just wanted to talk about him because this season has been about as bad as you could have ever hoped for.
I mean, when he plays, he gets 25 points a game.
Right, but that's
Gotta
the key.
play. In the last 2 years, he hasn't played much at all.
The best ability is availability.
That is true.
When you're talking about
And Ronald Jones is available every single week.
Rojo is available.
Do you know who's leading the league in catches at the wide running back position?
Behind the line of scrimmage,
No, just across the league.
C.J. Ham.
Running back with the most catches this year.
Kyle Juszczyk.
Nope.
J.D. McKissick.
Alex, you might actually. Okay, that was a good guess.
Austin
Scott.
Eckler.
Another very good guess, Alex.
Leading at the running
James
back.
Conner.
You're all wrong. It's fucking Leonard Fournette.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
What is he not leading running backs in? The dude's been a machine.
I mean, yards. He's not the best yardage guy, but when you have Godwin over here, Gronk over here, Mike Evans over here, he is open on every fucking play.
He's leading in
He could
touchdowns.
get 15 catches a game.
Godwin had 15 catches last week. Something stupid like that.
It was 7 catches, but he had 8 targets.
No,
he had 4.
Godwin.
Oh,
Godwin.
yes,
Yeah.
Godwin did have 15 catches.
It
Stupid.
was dumb.
Yeah.
And I still lost.
Yeah, but like think about where you
Bullshit.
drafted Lenny Fournette, right? You could have probably in a dynasty league.
Did you draft him?
Gotten
Was
him-
he drafted?
I don't know.
Free
What,
agent,
what
man.
was his ADP?
No, Leonard Fournette was for sure
In a
drafted.
standard 12-man Superflex
Before
PPR
the
league?
season, Rojo was gonna come up.
Leonard Fournette was 100% drafted in leagues.
Fuck
it was
Bruce
like
Arians.
rounds 9, 10.
Just ruining my
just go for
dynasty
99.
outlook for.
We're in a
for
6-man league. He wasn't drafted in our league.
No, but in our 12-team
So not
friends league,
100%.
he was.
Well, 12 team is the
99.999.
average league.
It's not
That's
100.
fair.
How do I read this thing?
It's Google.
With your
Left to
eyes.
right, top to bottom.
You'll get the hang of it, super producer Alex.
He's not familiar if it's not on a cellular device.
He'll get it. He'll figure it out.
You're right.
You can just pull your phone out. That'd work just as good for Google A's. If you're disappointed that the butthole is not bringing this video or this
Episode.
to you live with a video,
Command F will.
so you can
super
see
search.
how angry I was at Scott, or I'm going to be at Scott in a minute.
Oh, man. All right.
Let us
Judge
know. Send us a fucking message somewhere.
Butthole Court is now in session.
We are mentioning the 6-man sleeper league.
The plaintiff gauges rage.
It
Is bringing a
Thursday.
case against the defendant.
It was Thursday night. Alex and I were going to surprise our ladies to a wild game. While we're there,
Good men.
the Dallas Cowboys are going off against the New Orleans Saints. It comes to my attention, because I never checked the 6-man sleeper best ball league that we didn't know until round 10 in the draft, that
2QB.
it's a 2 I forgot the 2QB.
That's a key ingredient. Like, that matters.
A lot. And I've been told almost every time when I have injured QB and I'm only playing one QB and lots of things like, Gage, you don't have a starting lineup. Check your fucking squad. Alex is always the one who tells me because he's the only one who cares.
You don't need a starting lineup. It automatically submits them.
If you don't have 2 healthy fucking quarterbacks, you don't have a starting lineup.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't need a starting
He
lineup
had a
to
starting
have more wins
quarterback
than
with
Scott.
like 0.4 points 2 weeks ago.
Dude,
Who the
0.4.
fuck was that?
I don't know.
Trevor Simeon?
No, I don't think it was Simeon. Maybe Cameron Newton.
No.
Yeah, I added him just in time for that one.
Yeah.
So it's pretty desperate. And I'm looking, I'm like, wow, McCaffrey's hurt. I need some wide receivers. I need some moves here. I needed a running back is what I desperately needed after McCaffrey got hurt. So I go to add a running. I don't even remember who the
Jamal
fuck
Williams.
I tried to add. Jamal
Yeah,
Williams
Jamal.
with DeAndre Swift out. And I try to drop Michael Gallup at 6 p.m. before their game time. My
Wow,
fat ass
you
fingers
claim you
accidentally
did.
click. Probably 2 players, but I believe it selected the top one, which was Justin Jefferson.
No, you don't believe it. Absolutely did.
No, what I believe was the top, like it just dropped the top guy I clicked because I had Gallup checked without a doubt. Now, in normal fantasy football leagues, they ask you, are you sure you want to drop this guy? Are you certain you want to drop Justin Jefferson? At which point I would go, cancel. Of course not. No. But it doesn't. The move is processed. Justin Jefferson is now available to waivers the next day. And Alex is with me. He's like, Gage, did you know did you try to drop Justin Jefferson? I'm like, fuck no, I didn't. Why would I want to drop the second best wide receiver in the fucking football league?
This is fucking glorious.
And it's not about 2 minutes later, a notification comes across Sleeper's league chat where we have Scott just sends the eyeball emojis.
I was actually the first one.
No, Alex replied first, and then I saw his response, and I was like, whoa, what do we have here?
Well, no, we were sitting at Tom Reed's, and I pull it up. I'm like, oh, he dropped Vance Jefferson, and I'm like, okay. And then I realized it was Minnesota.
There's no Vance Jefferson on Minnesota.
Certainly not.
I instantly commented in the league chat, fuck, I'm a few beers deep, wanted to drop Michael Gallup. Can the commissioner fix this one? I'll look into it. Famous last words.
Which I did do, and you can't.
Well, there's a timeline to the story,
Yes,
Scott.
there
You can
is.
enter. This is the plaintiff is talking. Judge, please.
Sustained.
So, I totally forget about it like I do with everything in this fucking stupid ass 6-man football league. And it's not until 24 hours the next day, my lovely lady goes, hey, did you get your player back? And I go, fuck, I totally forgot. Let me check quick. Also on the way to get some pizza for dinner, so had a little hanger involved in this situation. And shit you not, my $76 bid for Justin Jefferson does not go through. Why? Because I tried to drop Michael Gallup, who already played the fucking night before, and Scott's dumbass wins it for $50. What kind of friend steals your best player? in a 6-man league, Scott.
Okay, here's the situation.
Hold up! I'm not done with you yet. So instantly, I just go, yo, Scott, what the fuck is going on in this sleeper league? To which he responds, what do you mean, bro? I didn't get fucking Jefferson back. Oh, I totally forgot. I submitted a bid on him right away.
I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. The next day, a text at about 7:45 in the morning. There's nothing I could do as the commissioner in a sleeper league.
Yeah.
Scott, defend yourself.
Well, there's really nothing else to say other than Sleeper does not allow you to do roster moves as commissioner. I could change your starting lineup, but that's not going to do you any good at that point.
Yes,
I did offer to drop Justin Jefferson and let you get him, which I would then be out $50, which isn't fair to me either.
Yes.
I'm still in the heat of this.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the heat of it, Scott. I am currently spot number 4 playoff position for our 6-man league. Scott, you're
6.
I thought you were gonna say 3.
No, I'm absolutely 6.
So you're just a couple games out.
No, I'm way out
2
of it.
games out.
If he was going to say 3, it was probably closer to the amount of wins that he has.
Yes, that would be. At 4 and 20, Scott doubled his wins over the course of the season in the last week. That means he won 2 more games than he had before.
Good. That's math. Math checks out, yeah.
And why do you deserve Justin Jefferson?
Because I bid the most on him of people that had eligible bids.
Get the fuck out. I still don't believe the commissioner can't go in and force a roster move.
I absolutely cannot.
You're a commissioner too. All 3 of you guys.
We're co-commissioners. It's not the same as the
It's
commissioner.
absolutely the same thing. You have all the same abilities.
Next point. As commissioner of this league, Scott, you created all of it, right? You knew it was a 2-quarterback league. You knew it was a fucking best ball league and didn't inform us until rounds into the draft. If your running back fumbles the ball and the defense recovers it, what points happen from that play?
I don't know. I just picked.
So
What do you mean you don't fucking know, Scott? What's the play worth?
What the fuck is the point of
hold on,
this?
if
It
you're-
should be -2 for the running back, and it should be +2 for the defense.
It's -3. What fucking league are we in here, Scott?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
This
You're
is
the
literally-
commissioner who set it all up. You lose 1 point for a fumble, and you lose 2 points for a fumble lost.
What?
3 points for a fumble.
This is literally Sleeper's
The
standard
worst league
points.
I've ever been in, hands down.
And he's in a yearly league run by me.
Well, no, okay, yeah, we can all agree. Sleeper's not good.
Scott,
We'll agree on that.
Have you
front.
seen the blind kid try to play football? The meme where it's like, what the fuck is going on? He's lineman, he's blocking no one. No. That's you as a commissioner of a football league.
And
Who are you in charge of an Empire League that's worth thousands of dollars?
Nobody else wanted to sign up, dude. Here I am. In the flesh.
Gage's rage is over.
There was nothing he could do.
Oh my god.
There is nothing Sleeper lets you do, though. You can't fucking make roster moves.
I'll look into it.
Please do. And if for some reason you can, and I just happen to glance over it, I still had a nice week out of JJ.
I don't want anyone to score less points than Josh Allen tonight.
What?
If Josh Allen scores about 8 points and you lose to me while stealing my best player,
I didn't steal shit. You dropped him, and then you put a bid in on him with an ineligible player. Rookie mistake, motherfucker. You know it, too. Rookie mistake.
When did you put the bid in on Jefferson?
as soon as I dropped him.
So you put the bid in before the Thursday night game.
Yes.
Before Gallup played.
Absolutely.
Why are waivers running after Thursday night? They should not be running after the game.
Because he dropped the player. So when one specific player gets dropped, there's a 24-hour waiver period for that specific player.
So you dropped him right before the game?
Yes, he dropped him right before the game.
6:30.
Yeah.
That's a whole tomfoolery, skullduggery of fuckery there, boys.
Well, the bottom line is, Gage makes a good point in the sense of every other app asks, "Are you sure you want to add this player and drop this player?" And then you have to say yes or no, or cancel or confirm, whatever. Nope, not sleeper. If you have a fat finger and you fucking miss it because you're drunk, you're fucked. It'll drop Jefferson.
Had you already dropped Christian McCaffrey?
No. And after the fact, I was honest. I said I wanted to drop Gallup, not fucking Justin Jefferson. And then in the text, I'm like, well, actually, looking back now, I would rather drop McCaffrey, but I wanted to drop Gallup. And that's when I after I submitted the waiver claim to drop Gallup and get Justin Jefferson back, because that's what should have happened. Here we are.
I have an even better question, though. Why is Jefferson even a droppable player?
You shouldn't even be able to drop him.
A lot of
in
leagues
any
do
league.
that, undroppable.
Yep.
But yeah, okay.
He should be 100% honed in a 2-man league.
Yeah. For sure.
Wow. You know what, Gage? For you, I'll look into it. I'm co-commissioner.
God, I fucking love it.
That,
And the best part, well, it's funny now because it's done, but I didn't fucking look into it at all until I got a text message and I looked at my roster and saw that I had Justin Jefferson on my roster. I didn't even look into it at all. I didn't want to be bothered
Scott,
with it.
you were within 5 minutes of that roster move. You were in the league chat commenting. There's no way in my mind that you did not know you had Justin Jefferson until that text.
No, I absolutely put the bid in on Justin Jefferson. 100% put the bid in. I put the bid in after I put the eyes on, after I messaged the eyes.
Exactly.
I put the bid in right away, but I didn't know I was going to get him for 50. There are people in the league that have 100 because they still don't know that you can actually bid on players.
I have 20.
Our commissioner hasn't told us we can do that yet.
Well, I'm not going to either.
Yeah, you might get 8 wins.
It's possible. It's entirely possible.
All right, would you please go to your sleeper app?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, we're gonna iron this out on the air.
Go to commissioner settings. Commish settings.
Got like Jeopardy music on this shit?
I don't, but
Play the fucking Butthole 5 music.
Where's commissioner settings?
It says commish settings, roster players.
Hey, all right, section 109, let's start.
whoops,
Yeah,
my
where is commish settings though? League settings?
Commish settings. You have to swap over to commish.
Okay, commish, here we go.
Roster players.
Roster players.
Okay. From there, commish will have these following options. Add a player, drop a player, send players to another roster.
Yes, it is. It's on the phone. It wasn't on the computer, though. I looked on the computer.
It's an app. It's an app.
Scott, you might be the worst commissioner in the entirety of fantasy football.
That's
and I'm not
fair.
even fucking joking.
That's fair. You could say that.
In the
Although,
time that
I
this-
will say,
in
I'm
the
not
time
doing
I
it
let you
now.
plead
I'm
your
not
case-
doing it now.
In the time I let you plead your case, I found out how to get my player back on my fucking team.
Well, yeah, you have a very much vested interest in getting that player back. You now have buyer's remorse that
You are
sold him.
in fucking sane. And whoever wins this, good luck getting my fucking money.
So
Well, Scott will
question,
pay you.
Yeah, Scott's paying twice.
I'm not paying anything at all.
So question, if you
Ever.
were a commissioner, why didn't you look into this when you lost him on Sunday?
If you're co-commissioner and you can do it, why don't you do it right now?
I don't know if I can fucking. I've gone on the app 3 times. The draft, when you told me and when you told me, or no, when I dropped Justin Jefferson and then when I added him. What are you talking about? I'm not commissioner. He's commissioner,
All three of you guys are
and he
commissioner.
stole my
Look on the
fucking player.
standings.
Sounds like a really bad time to make a move.
God damn it, Scott.
Dude, I literally don't
Let's don't do that to each other.
That's true.
How many points did Jamal Williams?
It was an honest
Did you bid on
transaction.
Justin Jefferson?
I didn't even know he was a free agent.
Alex, did you bid on Justin Jefferson?
No, I did not.
It was
There
an
was only
honest
2 bids.
transaction.
There's only 2 bids.
Why would I not bid on Justin Jefferson when he
What
becomes
were the
available?
2 bids? His and mine?
Correct.
I'm psycho not to.
What a commissioner.
Gage, if we were going based on your standards, Justin Jefferson would have been a free agent walking into tonight. Because you fucking try and drop
That's
players
the
that
round
are
of
already
applause of
locked.
everyone's who's happy with their commissioner results, and it's just me. Oh my god. That took me 5
So-
seconds. I googled
so
it and it
Scott
literally
values
said, can only do it on
$40.
the app.
More than Gage's
I just
friendship.
googled how to make a roster adjustment commish. And there it is, Scott.
It doesn't let you do it on the computer, man. That's what I just said.
Why are you doing sleeper on a computer?
Because the computer was right by me when he texted me.
You texted you. And you had your phone out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way too convenient. Let me slap open the laptop quick. You're so full. God damn it, I wish we had video right now. Ah! Scott.
Just for that, I might edit the playoff seeds and just drop Gage out right now.
Can you just drop me from the league? I
Well,
don't
no,
want to
because
play
of the
anymore.
because of that
even
move,
if it's a 5-man league, he's not making it.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
because of that drop, Scott, Gage might be in 5th place now to Wade after tonight.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I just think it's funny that Gage fucking fat fingers and drops Justin Jefferson, and I'm the villain here. Like, you dropped him.
It's when you add him. It's when you're the only player to bid on him. When clearly there was a mistake made, and you're the commissioner, you have the power to just reverse it instantly,
Yeah.
and you choose not to.
In a
see your point,
situation
but I
where he's an
disagree.
undroppable player.
You can comment with heart eye emojis, right? And you do that from your computer. Oh, I think that's done from your fucking phone.
No, it's from my phone. I do it on my phone.
Huh. And in that league chat, I said, "Can you look into this, Scott?" Oh, I'll look into it.
I did! I looked on the computer, and it doesn't let you do it on the computer.
Enjoy Justin Jefferson. You're still gonna be the worst team in the fucking league. In a 6-man sleeper league, you had fucking 4 wins before you cheated and stole my best player.
I didn't cheat, though. I made an honest bid on him.
I think as commissioner, not looking into it like I did for 5 seconds and making the move is cheating.
That's okay. You can
Judge,
get on
I've
that road.
pleaded my case. How do you rule?
Guilty as charged.
Scott can never commission a league ever again that's less than fucking 10 guys.
Ruling.
What about those leagues that have 9?
You're out!
God!
Can't be considered.
I was literally just trying to get a 9-man put together for this year.
This will be on your fantasy football report for the rest of your life.
Oh God!
Your
not
profile.
A fucking free sleeper league.
Every time they lift you up,
It's not free.
How will I
it's
ever
not
live?
free.
It's not free.
We all agreed it was $10.
We all agreed on money.
You started the conversation for how much should we pay for this bitch.
We never agreed on a dollar. amount.
Every
Yeah,
single
we did.
person said, yeah, it's
$10.
$10.
Get it in the chat. He fucking
Yeah,
started
let me
it.
scroll back 50 years.
I thought there
Use
was
the
like-
computer to go back and look quick.
There's just like 6 fucking comments.
I thought
It's
there was
not
like
that
4.
active.
I thought there was only like 3 people that agreed to $10, and nobody else said shit.
Everybody
There's 4
said
of us
okay.
here that said we agreed.
At 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I'll pay the $10 if I'm
Well,
wrong.
20
I don't
because you stole
care.
the player from Gage.
Yeah, you're paying 20.
I'm not paying shit.
You stole the best player in the fucking
I
league,
didn't steal
Scott.
anything. You dropped him. You fucking dropped Justin Jefferson. You
Love the
dropped him.
background music for this.
You straight up dropped
This is solid background music.
Which might I add, if you're in a league with 6 people, dropping Justin Jefferson, not a smart fucking move.
What the fuck?
Not a smart move.
Oh my god.
There's a lot better options, like maybe an injured Christian McCaffrey. That might be a fucking better option.
I'm sitting over here like, why can't I hear anything?
I should have
What
unplugged
happened?
mine so I didn't have to hear his fucking voice anymore.
Like, God, there's other options as well. Should we look at Gage's team? The guys he kept instead of Justin Jefferson?
You know what's gonna be the greatest, Scott? When I kick your ass in Sleeper League, like I'm going to. When I kick your ass in Empire League, like I'm going to, with fucking no one healthy. When I kick your ass in Guillotine League, like I'm going to!
Yes, going to. We'll see.
What is a guillotine league like at this point of the year?
No shit, they're fucking crazy. And by the way,
I don't
you're
even
not
know.
going to be kicking my ass. You're going to be kicking my wife's ass because that's not my team.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sorry,
just
you've been
waiting
kicked
for that
out for
excuse.
weeks.
Yeah.
Until the end.
I've been planting this fucking seed for the last how many weeks? I'm going to live on this hill.
That was also that fateful night. His wife texted me. She's like, "I hope you get cut." I was like, "That's kind of personal. Ouch."
Yeah,
I said-
that's an injury.
Is this all part of your guys' evil plan where you guys each say each other own it, and then when you fucking lose in a devastating fashion,
You
can
blame it on each other.
We don't blame each other, okay? We don't do that in our
Hot
relationship.
damn.
That's why it still works.
Hot damn!
You ain't
I
getting
might be-
any points
Can I
from your
bench
kicker.
That's gonna be rough.
Don't worry, you only get
Those
negative
are extra
points.
points. This isn't like our Empire League.
What league is this in?
This is the Friends League.
Oh, you get negative points from Miss PATs.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's a new rule. I just put it.
Fuck
I
outta
checked
here.
into it. I just put it in place tonight.
He's a co-commissioner, and he can do that.
I am the commissioner.
You've been asking Scott about his commissioner duties.
Honestly,
and
he
took some notes.
commissions 2 leagues, and he's the guy that I go to for advice on rules and how to implement things and a 6-man league.
Officially, he's co-commissioner of the Empire League, and
That's true.
Of the Empire League? No, I'm the commissioner. Shanny's co-commissioner, because I was the original commissioner, and I brought him under my wing to help me out.
so when he signs in as the commissioner, it says co-commissioner. He has a different login and everything.
He logs in with his own login.
Oh, but when he's on, it says it doesn't say the commissioner's in, right?
I don't
Oh,
understand
it
what you're
would.
saying.
Yeah, he's still the commissioner.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm not sure. They're both commissioners.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both the commissioner.
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
We both have the same duties, if that's what you're asking. If you want either of us to check into a roster transaction, we both can. I'll check into it.
Right here at the bottom, you have when everyone was active last.
Yeah. Oh, Shanny never checks in as commissioner on that.
Full of shit.
I'm dead serious. All the commissioner logins are me. He never ever does.
Where the fuck did that go?
I heard there might be an opening on league next year.
Yeah, we want to talk about that.
Well, no, let's not hash. Okay, let's talk about it. There's a
We
chance.
probably have one of the worst fantasy football players to ever live in our
Well,
Empire
okay,
League.
let's just really clear here.
He's a
Let's
great
be-
guy.
Let's be really clear here. Nothing
Friend-
has been set in stone. There's an entire conversation that has to happen.
Yes.
And it's going to be a meeting with him. And we're not going to name drop his name, Joe. But,
It's going to be quick.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Joe
It's gonna be
Biden's
quick.
in your league?
wow, Sleepy
He's got
Joe
the-
is a different Sleepy
He's
Joe.
got it's not Joe Byron, but he's got the memory of Joe Byron, if you know what I'm saying. That dude's
Yeah.
played so many fucking injured
He's
players.
the original
and
Sleepy Joe.
Hey, take me out to dinner.
It has taken him 12 weeks to get his IR, how it should have been all year.
That's true, too.
He's had James White on his active roster, and he's gotten 4 IR infractions.
Wow, he shouldn't even have James White on his team. He's not even worth IRing. But that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, so long story short, if you're interested in a roster that includes David Montgomery, Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
And 15 available roster
Did
spots.
you mention Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
and no first-round pick.
3 taxi squads.
No, he's got first round picks.
That's the bigger conversation that needs to happen. But that's
Yeah.
another conversation. Because I don't think a team that
Shoot us
takes...
an email at officialbutthole@gmail.com.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's just hash out a little bit right now. I mean, our listeners understand fantasy football. Maybe some of them haven't played in a dynasty league yet, but you get
Future draft picks.
for every year. Well, in our league, the punishment is if you have an infraction, the first one is a warning. The second one, you lose your first round pick
In a single season.
in a single season.
And it's depending on the infraction. I don't think every infraction is 2 first round. I think there might be one where you can lose a second or a third first.
No, it's your first roster infraction. It's called a roster infraction.
But
So,
the first one's a warning.
yes, if you start an injured player or you leave an active player on your IR, those are your 2 biggest ways to get an infraction. You get a warning on your first one for the season. If you have a second one in season, it's no questions asked. Your first round pick for the next upcoming season that you own one, your own personal pick, is gone. It's gone.
It's not your personal pick. It's your first round pick.
Yeah, your own personal. Because sometimes people trade for ones, and those ones are not available. Those are off the table. Your own personal pick would get taken.
But then,
Because-
how come when you stated it, you said your pick from you said the pick that he got from you was the one that was gone?
Because he owns it.
Yes, but that's not his pick.
Right, because his pick is with Shanny now.
Yes. So Shandy doesn't lose out on the pick he acquired
He
through
also
trade.
has your brother's pick.
Yes.
So how do you determine which pick is going to leave? Because he's got 2 picks from other people.
Exactly. It'd be the best available first round pick.
Yeah, your best available. Yeah.
So Nick's.
It would technically then be Nick's, yes.
Yes.
So you lose your pick, and then the third one, if it happens, is consideration to be kicked out of the league.
But no other, you don't lose a pick, any of that crap. It's just now you have to be
League
talked about
consideration.
Yeah.
being kicked out.
Which, in a league with a lot of money, I think that's a good rule to have. What Gage and I have been talking about is the fact that
Have you guys been having closed door conversations?
we talk about everything.
yeah.
I mean, penis size,
We're buds.
Bud stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Not submitting waiver claims on your best bud's top player when he accidentally drops him.
Wow,
We
some
talked
people
about
are
that
into that. Some
at
people
length.
are into that.
You know,
I
whether or
bet
not
Scott
you want to
roster
play.
baited so fucking hard when that waiver process.
To be honest,
Still coming.
the sleeper league doesn't move the
best
needle
ball.
at all.
Oh, best ball.
It just doesn't move the needle. I don't like best ball.
Okay, back on track here.
Could be because I'm very bad at it.
Now, how do you convince somebody to come into a league that's 7-8 years in?
I'll show you. Get on your knees.
You're going to inherit a roster that is arguably the worst roster in the league.
Has no future potential when you're talking about
See,
an
this is
empire.
why you
losing
guys
your
are
first-
goddamn lucky to have a great commissioner like me. I've thought this through.
If a new owner does come through, I do not think it's the new owner's responsibility to take reprimand for roster infractions that owner did not commit.
Yeah, so here's what I would throw out there, and this is just as an owner, not as commissioner. It would be, if he does stay, he loses that first because that's a rule.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
however, if he goes, I think that first should be given back to that team.
Absolutely
Yes.
agree.
100%.
So
That's
that's
the way I-
as far as I've thought it through. Now, the most enticing thing, and Brandon knows this well because he was taken on later, he's not an OG to the league, is you were not all in on the pot right away. You had to pay a fee to be able to be all in on the Empire pot.
Yes, but my situation was different because what I had to pay was the guy who I took over for did not make his league payment the year before.
Yes.
And he played through the year, then he got kicked out, so I had to make the league payment for him for the previous year and for the current year coming up, whereas that's not the situation now.
Right. So my thing now would be if the person that comes on, there's a couple things you can do. One would be to waive the league fee for the first year for them. So they would be taking on a team and have an entire year to build up the team before they would have to pay money and be financially invested. Number two, these are just ideas. There's nothing held to these other than just an idea. Number two would be having them enter the league and be fully vested day one, which Brandon was able to do because he paid. The problem that we're getting
to do
into with
that,
this league is when you have shitty owners now at this point, it's a really big deal
Yeah.
because there's a lot of fucking money available. And
Thankfully,
really,
we each got one of them in our division.
yeah, but there's a big difference between the two shitty owners. The one torpedoes his entire team. Like, he has a loaded gun and he shot himself in the foot a couple times.
Couple.
The other one
dozen.
still doesn't realize he has a loaded gun in his hand.
He's Alec Baldwin out there right now. I just cocked the hammer back.
Well, no, like seriously though, the two bad teams, the one at least has pieces and a pulse. The other one is just a literal bye week. I mean, the one bad team is about to beat the number one team in our division.
I was going to say, the
They're
one
both
bad
about
team
to-
is going to win.
The two bottom teams
No.
in our division are about to beat the number one teams out of their respective divisions.
There's no way
Yes.
that Cock Commander is number one in his division.
No,
Because
he's
that's
not.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
a-
I thought he was going against the Giants.
No, but he does have like a 12-point lead, and he's got Kendrick Bourne, and the other one's got Damian Harris. So he might beat him this week.
Yeah.
When fucking Man Campbell said we need to play upset now, Joe took that to heart. And he said, you know what? I'm going to torpedo Cock Commander's season. And here he is, beating Cock Commander on a Monday night with a chance to really, really torpedo Cock Commander's season because I fucking lost to the team that he's fighting to get into the playoffs.
How fucking tight are your guys' pants in these last 2 weeks here before the playoffs start?
I'm so excited.
Our Friends League?
Dude,
I think I'm going to go from the number 2 overall team to like number
9.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out of the playoffs with one
Okay,
loss.
I will say, in the Friends League, it's not pants tight. It's fucking butthole pucker. It is not ideal.
Fucking nuts.
And I knew going into this weekend when I started Gronk and Logan Thomas, and my bench is just littered with injuries, that I needed a goddamn miracle. And you know what the
I didn't
football gods
realize
gave me? A goddamn miracle.
When I was commenting on the Vikings game, you're like a tight end flex.
A 2 tight end stack loss?
Yeah. It's like, I didn't even realize. I just breezed right by that. I didn't look at that.
Well, it's true, though.
I'm so focused on the Empire League.
And are you going to lose, too, in the Friends League, or are you going to win? I know you
I'm
were
going
on
to
the
lose
block.
this week, but I will still probably hold the number 1 seed.
Yeah, but anyways, you losing just tightens up everything even more.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But I think no matter what, I'm in, so I'm not super worried.
I think there's going to be 10 teams at 7-6 or 6-7.
And
I agree.
It's going to come down to tiebreakers. There's going to be one team,
and,
that's why Star Lamar didn't come here tonight.
And newsflash, our tiebreakers in this league
are shitty.
Are the worst.
Yeah. It's like it's like record.
Points against?
Then it's head to head, then it's like points against.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. So just bottom line is win. If you just win, you'll be fine.
It's winning in. There was 7 teams at 6-6. 7 teams.
Yeah.
And then you look
insane.
at our Empire League is equally as tight, taking away the 2 fucking Sackos.
I will say if Cock Commander loses, it's a little less tight. Then it comes down to
you and someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
It'll come down to you and mediocrity.
Yes. And
Pretty
it's going to be us facing off next week.
Yeah.
You're facing off against the number 1 in our division. So if you win
I
and
play
in,
the Rat King?
If you win and in, then I think we're playing for a chance at the tiebreaker for division win.
No, because I'm losing. No.
You've already lost.
I lost this week, so I'm out of it. I cannot win the division next week.
You and I will have the same. You and I will have the same record, and Rat King lost too.
So if Rat King were to lose then to Dixon Cider next week, Brandon, and you beat me, now you have a division share. I don't know. Wait, are you still 1 game back then, or are you tied with Rat King?
No.
You'll be tied with Rat King?
If he loses the 2
and you win,
and I win the 2, we'll tie.
And you'll beat him because you have more points for.
Is that the first tiebreaker, or is it
first is head to head and then points for? Who's got the better head to head record?
I gotta look at the fucking league.
So I might just change my name to Rat Poison this week.
Don't do it! Don't do it! No! It's a trap!
Yeah, don't do that.
It's a rat trap!
Rat trap.
Oh.
Rat trap
That's
might
different.
be.
Tomcat.
Tomcat?
No.
The parent
Rat trap. Rat trap is
Rat
good.
trap's fucking sneaky. I like it.
Watch out, Rat King.
I forget how you even look at the fucking full
Alex is just like
schedule.
But anyways, back to what Alex said that got us down this rabbit hole. Are you throwing your hat in the ring for that orphan team possibly?
Well, not if I don't get a fucking first round pick.
Well, you'll get a first round.
The first round comes back. It's gotta.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, David Montgomery. Whoop doo.
There's Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
You'll have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, David
Derek Carr,
Montgomery, 2 firsts this year, 2 firsts next year.
Kendrick Bourne.
Does that intrigue you at all?
You once
I'd
had
have to see it on like a screen and see.
you once had Kyler Murray.
You traded him though.
Yeah,
well,
you
you
did.
didn't, but the owner before you did. He's in.
And what would be said fee to join said league?
It's $150.
$3,000 maybe. Oh, no, never mind. 150 maybe.
Scott, I actually lost both the head-to-heads with the Rat King.
So you don't have a chance.
You
then.
pushed with him though, 1-1.
Doesn't matter though. He's losing this week, so
I'm
he's
gonna
out.
lose this week and I'm out. I got hit. I got Javonte Williams.
You're not gonna be out.
Yes, I am.
No, he's losing as well.
Yeah, but I'm already a fucking. Maybe I'm mathing wrong. It's possible.
He'll
but...
go to 11-5. You'll be 10-6 with me at 10-6.
Oh shit! Yeah, I still got a chance.
So then,
I got a chance. I got a real chance.
Then playing me is
I have a
for
real chance.
because do you have more points than him?
I got him beat on points by 130.
So then your match against me is for division win.
Well, he's got to lose against me.
Let's go.
Hey,
Well,
Scott,
and
if
you
pull
have
a
to win to
commissioner
get in the
trick and pick up
playoffs.
Justin Jefferson,
I have to
you'll
win to get in.
I already have him.
I have to win for Scott to have a chance.
Yeah.
But if mediocrity loses next week too, I'm in.
Hey,
So I'm winning in, or I'm.
At mediocrities.
Yeah, what is his record right
Oh, you're in a bad spot. Mediocrity's team's heating up at the right time.
7-9 is what it'll be.
He's heating up at the right
He
time
just fucked
too.
you up, didn't he?
He scored 150.
I scored like 132 and I lost to him. Like he's got a good. He had a good week.
And I think I'm going to be the points for leader after this week.
It's between you and Menden.
Me and Link now.
Oh, Link.
Because Link had a hot week.
Okay, but can we not all agree that the defending champ is starting to really stutter?
Just in time.
Yeah.
Week 1 out.
Yeah. And I will also say, and I said this in a group chat with other members in the league, but If I'm not going to win the division, if I'm not going to win my division, I want a shot at him round 1. Do we not all want that?
Let's finish this conversation off.
Okay. Isn't that what you'd want, though?
Oh, wait, we can edit this one.
Can you check head-to-head records?
You just have to check your weekly schedule.
Yeah, you got a weekly schedule.
Oh,
you can on a computer check head-to-head, but not
Alex,
on your phone as easily.
What decibel does that say? Up top, the time clicker, what's that? 1100?
Well, let's just end it. We can just end it.
1332?
We can just end it.
We don't have to end it, man. Let's just talk.
Well, we got other stuff we got to talk about.
You just worried
too.
you might say something incriminating?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I go back and edit the shit.
Okay.
So, what's it worth to you to get the number 1 division spot?
Oh, Jesus.
Being I have other bets that
you'd probably just get it anyway.
that are stupid.
I'm so fucking injured.
I want to play you. I just want to play you straight up, like a gentleman's match.
Do you want to bet
Justin
$20
Jefferson?
on
May the
it?
best man win.
Loser has to pay the other guy's sleeper fee, even after you steal my fucking player.
I got an idea. All right.
All right.
You beat me, Justin Jefferson, on Sleeper League goes back to your team. No questions asked.
Okay.
And I'll even throw in another side kicker player. I'm not above that.
Deal.
I beat you.
You keep him fair and square.
You pay my Sleeper League fee.
No, I'll pay the $10 to the winner. Because you might still.
I'm out. I can't.
There's like 4 weeks.
No, there's not.
14.
There's
15,
4
16.
games.
There's 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, there's 6 games left. I could get to 12 wins, which means I could knock
Wait,
out you.
in the Sleeper League?
And fucking Wade.
No, dude, Sleeper League has playoffs.
4 teams make the playoffs. It starts week 16, I think.
Yeah, so there's only 2 weeks left, 14 and 15, which
You
means
could
I can
finish
only
10 and 20. So you and Wade would both have to lose out.
and I would have to win out.
Yeah. that's
What's
not
the schedule like next week?
It's tough. It's a tough schedule, man. They have
Plus,
a really...
aren't you going to split this week alone? You got a high
I
score
don't know
this
if
week.
if you beat me, I'm not going to split.
Oh, really? The average is that high?
I think so.
Scott would have to beat me next week,
Which will happen.
and then you and Gage face off each other. So Scott can never.
Oh, me, Wade, and I play?
Yeah, so Scott can never make the playoffs.
Yeah, tough out there. Bro.
Well, so let's just do that. You beat me, Justin Jefferson, and another player of your choice goes to your roster. I beat you, you pay my Sleeper League fee.
No. You're just trying to sell me Justin Jefferson for $10 here. You realize that?
I'm going to give you another player of your choice as well, though.
No.
You could get Najee Harris,
No. I don't want that fucking guy.
You could
Have you
get-
watched him play?
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That offense goes through one player and one player alone.
You could get...
Najee scored 15 points on a bad week.
Gage could get his favorite player of all players in all space and time. You could get Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, you should do that
What a
bet.
jokester. Oh, my God. Have you seen him? He is miserable. I wouldn't
Yeah,
touch
dude.
him with a 30-foot stick.
Wow.
He's
Social
better than your Week
distancing's
12
only
play of
6.
Trey Lance of 0.4 points.
Hey,
It
I
was
got
Trey
something.
Lance that played in? He got 4 rushing yards and he played? Yeah, that's no joke.
I got something to throw by you here.
Is he still on my roster?
Probably.
Fuck.
I can't really come up with a better offer.
There's
than
no
that.
just we'll
Let's
let the
just
whole
play
thing
it
The
down.
play.
offer's
Straight
off the
up.
table.
Let's just
No,
play
it's
each other
not.
straight up and see
There
what
was
happens.
never an offer. We're just joking
I'm serious
here.
though. Are you going to be able to actually roster a full starting lineup next week, or are you going to be like scrapping?
No,
He'll be able to.
I won't check, so I don't care.
No, in the dynasty league.
Oh, next week?
Yeah.
It's going to be, Keenan Allen going on COVID, not injury, is pretty nice, but
Him and 11 other players on the Los Angeles Chargers tested positive today.
11 other players?
So it could be a false positive situation.
Ooh, that's a lot better.
Shit, that's almost like Chiefs lock-in playoff spot.
Well, it is Chiefs locked in playoff spot. Have you not seen the lengths the NFL is willing to go to make sure of that?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Don't give me...
Three steps, you know?
Let's talk about the Kelsey.
Can we
catch
talk
fumble.
Vikings first, or should we just talk Vikings in the next podcast? Because I got a lot to say.
I'll just cut this up into 2 podcasts. Let's just keep rolling.
It's
Well,
not
we
the,
could just hit end and then start a new one here.
No, because you have to save it. It's a whole fucking deal.
It's
We're
a whole
on
deal.
here. We're
It's
Okay,
not the
let's do it.
Kelsey catch fumble.
What's the
it was
time
the
marker now?
Kelsey incomplete catch.
On what?
the time marker. 1400,
1458.
1458. Okay.
By the way, have you guys fucking seen the new movie Red Notice on
Yeah.
Netflix? It's such a good movie.
It's not bad.
I think for a Netflix film, it's really solid.
Let's hit the fucking intro for the next one.
It honestly, it proves the fact that The Rock is just the antagonist in all the movies.
He's also the antagonist in Fortnite.
He's in Fortnite?
He's in Fortnite, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
God, he's such a stallion.
That new fucking season.
I love The Rock.
No, we want the other intro. The other one. Yeah.
And the response from last time, in ESPN leagues, he was picked 87th overall, Leonard Fournette.
7th round.
87th, yeah. That's why we don't do ESPN.
Welcome.
But just think about that. Like in the Dynasty League, I almost traded my second for Leonard Fournette before the season started, and I decided I didn't want to.
The second.
Now bringing your hosts,
Yeah.
Scott, the Great Brandino, Gage's Rage, and Star Lamar.
Wrong.
That is right. If you listen to last
Lola's
episode.
right here, you fucking Brussels sprout.
Marianne?
Well, right here, you fucking Brussels sprout.
If you listen to the last episode, you know Star Lamar is out, and instead we have Alex with us.
Yay.
Super producer Alex with a mic, actually.
He's like, woohoo!
He's got his own seat at the table. It's
It's
official.
cold, long drive
and
home.
it's this will be coming out on Wednesday, December 8th. However,
Don't
tonight's Monday,
announce
December
when.
6th.
Don't announce when they come
don't
up.
give specific dates, because this could very well be Thursday or never at all.
Archives, baby.
Yes, if you want to pay to listen to all the deleted footage from the butthole, and there's a lot of it,
Oh, boy.
check out our Patreon account.
And also our official nonprofit organization, Butthole Gives Back.
Yes.
It's a new thing we're starting, kind of like the Salvation Army.
It's going to
Kinda
link
like
to an
Goodwill.
OnlyFans account, but just click the links, go through the process.
And never mind the foot pics of Gage's Rage.
If you want to stop by,
Oh, bro, you got the COVID toe.
$5.99 a month. That's you. I'm clear.
My toes are clean.
We never saw the right
Well,
one.
okay, clean is maybe not the
Gage
right
suck
word.
on him.
You've been stuck at... Did you go to work today?
Yeah, I've been going to work for a while now.
Yes, it's like
Never-
This is it. You've
never
been
stopped.
literally
You-
stuck at home, locked in this house with your family for 2 weeks, and I would be willing to bet you haven't showered once.
It's a good bet. It's a good bet.
That's not fucking clean toes, motherfucker.
But I have been going to work. The trick is just don't get tested, and then technically you're never positive, so you can still go to work whenever you want to.
That's fair.
That's sneaky.
It is a sneaky move, but it's a necessary move. But no,
Listen,
I've
Biden's
been
economy
unclear.
is terrible. You got to do what you got to do.
Joe Byron.
Joe Byron.
What would you say to Joe Byron right now? Sup, baby? Take me out to dinner.
All right, the reason we're here is pretty sad, though. It was about yesterday at about 12:05. Adam Thielen gets yanked off the field literally by his ankle. The Vikings' drive immediately ended after that,
was a
and
sad
pretty
play,
much their offense for the entire first half. We go into halftime down 20-6.
That was 20 to 9.
It was 6.
14-point
6.
deficit at halftime to the winless Detroit Lions.
We're working on getting routed by the winless Detroit Lions.
We come out in the second half, and they looked like they had some fire. They realized Thielen was out for the game, and Justin Jefferson started to heat it up. Alexander Madison also carried the ball a little bit better in the second half.
Official new member of Scott's Sleeper League team, Justin Jefferson, started to heat it up.
Breathe.
And the defense started to make some plays, missing Kendricks, Barr.
Daniel Hunter, Patrick
The
Peterson,
list goes on.
Emerson Griffin.
Can we just stop? Can we just stop giving them excuses?
What's true? 5 out of
just
11
describing the
of
game.
our
Sorry.
starters from the
Already,
beginning of the year.
my
were
blood's
out.
already starting to boil.
And it gets to the fourth quarter. The Vikings are down. I mean, we score. We're down in a weird spot where we're down by what, like 11 points or something?
We were down. Yeah, if we got two.
We
think
kicked a
11.
field goal to get it to 9, then it was 11, so we scored a touchdown to make it
we had 15.
5-point game, and we go for 2 and
So
miss
then
it.
it's a field goal.
And then they scored a touchdown, and they hit their extra point. So now, I mean, the scoring was a little funky, but
Yeah, because we started. Never mind. I'll let you finish.
the Vikings had scored a couple touchdowns, gone for 2, and like the entire season had not hit one. And it comes down to a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter, or was it 8 points?
It must have been 8 because we went for 2 and we didn't get it.
Yeah, and then we were down 2.
No, because they scored a touchdown at the end to go up.
Yeah.
They got
We
6
were-
and they went up 2.
We ended up missing an extra point to take the lead by 4.
It was 23-15 at the start of the fourth.
23-15. So it's an 8-point game.
You actually sound like that guy there for a second.
I think we kicked a field goal and then we scored a touchdown.
What's the
Whatever.
Yes, we went
We
9,
took
then
the
we
lead.
went
Touchdowns in
15.
the fourth quarter. We missed both 2-point tries.
We took the lead by 4 points. The Lions drive down the field in probably their best drive of the entire season. 75 yards, score a touchdown with 0-0-0 on the clock.
To win 29-27.
It was brutal. It was sad. It was depressing. It was a lot of things. Your thoughts?
Now do we have
It wasn't
open
sad.
mic? All right, I got some thoughts.
It wasn't sad for Detroit fans.
Yeah, that was their Super Bowl.
Believe it or not, I have some thoughts.
Oh,
I don't believe it, but let's hear you out just to make sure.
Guilty as charged. Scott has thoughts. Here we go. First and foremost, why in the fuck, in a game against Detroit on the road, do you decide, okay, our rookie left tackle's out. Let's slide our already mediocre guard, Oli Udoh, over to the left side after we started Rashad Hill for 5 weeks at the start of the regular season? Why not put Rashad Hill in at left tackle, leave Udoh at guard, and roll as normal? You now move 3 offensive linemen around so you don't have to start Rashad Hill. And all might I mind you, all the while, your quarterback, who is in a lot of cases overly aware, is all aware of this situation and decides it's time to start the game with happy feet immediately. Kirk was not settled in the entire first half. And the reason for it, I think, is because he didn't trust his offensive line. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't either. I'm sitting on my couch as a fan, and I don't trust my offensive line. I'm not the quarterback. But still, like, why? Why shuffle all those pieces around? I don't think, personally, the Vikings took Detroit seriously. I think they thought they were going to roll them.
Looking forward to Pittsburgh on
competitive
Thursday night.
arrogance that gets you beat.
Well, I know Thielen took him seriously because he said, all NFL teams are good. We're not overlooking them. But like Zimmer might have overlooked them.
Zimmer has this competitive arrogance about him as though he's won as many Super Bowls as Bill Belichick. And newsflash, motherfucker, you've won 1 as a defensive backs coach. You might as well have been a janitor. Like, you don't have anything to your name. You got a lot of shit to prove. That's
he hasn't been
besides the
proven
point.
much here lately.
So you do that. You move 3 people around on your offensive line because what? You need Garrett Bradbury to start? The dude's one of the lowest third scoring centers in the entire league when it comes to PFF rankings. And then on top of all of that, Kirk Cousins, and I'm not going to rip on the offensive play calling because I do feel like Kubiak's been getting better with it. But it's just this, it's so vanilla, and it's just the same old all the time. They don't get flashy with it. Once Adam Thielen went out, it just limited even more so. Justin Jefferson was the only bright spot in the entire offense. Alex Madison had an okay game.
And KJ had a
Conklin
couple
played okay too.
clutch third downs.
When you factor in the fact that Conklin is a backup tight end, he's been playing well. I don't think that this Vikings team is devoid of talent. I just don't think the talent's reaching its utmost potential. And that comes back to the head coach and the coaching staff. On both sides of the football, might I mind you.
Are you looking at like hidden gems? Thinking that there's a lot of talent where maybe it's still a little raw?
Well, for instance, let's talk about the defensive side of the football.
Yeah.
You have DJ Wanham and Kenny Willekes, who are now your 2 starting defensive ends because of injury. I think both of them have upside to be potentially good rotational players in this league. It's not their fault that Hunter got hurt and Everson Griffin has mental health issues and they're now starting. Like,
Exactly.
That's not their fault. But I do think that they're nice backup defensive ends.
So are you saying that's the coach's fault that those players are out and they have to start 2 rotational guys instead of using these guys in key situations?
Ultimately, I guess
Like
what
they
I'm
planned
trying
when
to
the
say
season's-
is when I look at this roster, I don't think it's a roster devoid of talent, which is what the general manager's ultimate job is to do. I think it's a roster that the talent isn't used to its utmost potential, which is what the coaching staff's job is to do.
What frustrates me is Mike Zimmer has been considered a defensive guru. We brought him in as a defensive head coach, and these last 2 years have been absolutely pitiful from
Horrible.
the defensive side of the ball. We have 7 games where we let up 27 points or more. Mm-hmm. You don't win many games when that happens. Most teams don't win that many games when you let up 27 or more points, including 2 times to was it 2 times to Detroit?
No. Detroit did not score 27 in the first matchup.
They might not have, but they scored 29 this last time.
If you compare the starting lineup on the defense week 1 to last week, how many different players are on there? 5?
This is the thing,
You
though.
don't have your starting linebackers. You don't have your starting defensive ends. You don't have your starting defensive tackle.
Barr wasn't starting week 1, though.
You don't have your starting cornerback. One of your starting cornerbacks. Like, what are we doing here?
I'm honestly not willing to go down that road, personally. I'm not willing to give Mike Zimmer passes. This is the defense that he built. This is Zimmer's defense. We could have gone out and signed an offensive guard. He'd rather pay Patrick Peterson and pay Dalvin Tomlinson. This is the defense that he constructed.
You'd rather be walking out Chris Boyd and Brashawn Breeland?
No, what I'm saying is this is Mike Zimmer's handpicked defense, and this
It's
is
not.
what it is.
It's half of it.
It's also Spielman.
Okay, that's where the $1 million question is.
At some point, you're doing the best with what you have.
That's the thing, though. I don't think he gets the most out of it.
Has he maximized it? No. Is he doing a good job? It's tough to say.
He's not.
You're
I
saying
don't
no.
think he is.
Time management, he's pitiful. That's one of the biggest jobs of a head coach.
You're transferring from on-field talent to a coaching misfire.
Here's what I'm
and
saying.
I agree with you.
Here's what I'm
Hire
saying,
a fucking guy to call timeouts.
Is if you're ownership of the Vikings right now and you look at this roster today after they lost to Detroit, are you saying we don't have enough talent to compete, or are you saying this talent is being criminally underutilized? Which one is it more?
I think you're saying both.
You think both?
Yeah. I think you're saying you don't have the skill to compete for a Super Bowl, and the skill we have is not being utilized to its potential.
Okay, so then personally on your side
Sweep
of
the
it,
house.
you're about let's fucking clean house.
Yep.
I think personally this Vikings roster as it stands today, including the injured players that you might get back next year, this is a perfect example of a team that could come out of nowhere next year with a new head coach and be a force in the playoffs.
A force?
I really think so.
Is this team being Tampa Bay?
Fuck no.
Not this year. But a lot of shit can change in one
Is this team
year.
going to stand up to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Robert Gronkowski, and Tom Brady?
They would steamroll us.
A lot can
It wouldn't
change
even
in
be
one
fucking
offseason.
close.
I will say that. A
It
lot can
wouldn't even be
change.
close. And yeah, a lot can change, but you need 2 cornerbacks, 3 linemen, 2 on offense, 1 on defense. You need a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even think we're close here. And a quarterback on top of all of it. This quarterback is not the quarterback that will win Minnesota a Super Bowl championship.
Not with our team right now. That's
Period.
for sure.
Period. Kirk's not going to win a fucking Super Bowl in his lifetime, and I'd bet money on
Kirk Cousins has been statistically one of the best quarterbacks this season. Not to mention, not almost 0 of the game time has been considered garbage time. Because every single game we have been in it, and it's come down to the final drive of the game.
Now,
We've had one game that has been decided by more than 1 score or 8 total points this entire season.
We've been in every game. And is it Kirk Cousins or is it Adam Thielen and Justin
Who throws
Jefferson
him the ball?
and Dalvin Cook?
Who throws him the ball?
Kirk Cousins is a master of manipulation with
Is he being
statistics.
propped up by a great offense surrounded by him, or is he propping up a okay offense?
Is Tom Brady getting propped up by the fact that he has Mike Evans, he's got Chris Godwin, he's got Gronkowski,
No, I
he's
think
got
you
Leonard
look at
Fournette?
his prestige and his 6 Super Bowl rings and go, yeah, the whole fucking team's great. When you look at the Vikings offense, you don't go, wow, the whole fucking team's great. 6.
Can I
in
say
New England.
something regarding Tom Brady? After some of the skill position players he's put up with in New England, Tom Brady deserves this offense. In the
That's a
twilight
great
of his
point.
career,
I don't,
he deserves this
I don't
offense.
disagree with that, but he was the only quarterback rated higher than Kirk Cousins, but yet he's the only one that's got more skills positions, more skills players on his team that are considered to be very, very talented.
And your QB stats that involve quarterback rating, you don't include fumbles.
He's only fumbled twice.
No, what it doesn't factor in is when it's a 3rd and 12 and Kirk Cousins throws a 4-yard out. Because that counts as
Greatness for a completion percentage and an extra couple points on your QBR.
yeah.
I'm saying
Terrible
I'm
for the
saying
team as a
everything,
whole.
though.
No, I know. Listen,
As a whole, he's
I don't
been
think
one
I don't
of the best
think
in every
anybody
category.
in this room is going to
Besides
sit
rushing.
and say Kirk Cousins is an awful quarterback. Gage might.
No, I'm
I
not
don't think
saying
he would,
awful.
though.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying awful. I'm just saying he will not win a Super Bowl.
But-
when it comes down to clutchness, when it comes down to 2 minutes left and you line up under your fucking guard, you're not clutch. You're not winning Super Bowls. You're not driving. Aaron Rodgers steps up to his team and goes, relax.
Yeah.
We got this. It's our game. Kirk Cousins is a fucking clusterfuck. He's a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah, he
and he
is.
lines up under the wrong guy.
Relax.
And he's looking to the sideline for the play. It's like, bitch, you're 33 years old. You are a veteran in this league.
Fourth and goal.
Call
Get
a play.
in.
Just call a fucking play. Run the offense. You make $35 million a year, dude.
It's your
Run
ball.
the offense.
Go.
45 next year.
How about you look for a little bit of accountability, Kirk Cousins? Just a little bit of accountability.
I'm not letting anyone go.
Do you give
Sweep
any-
it out and give me a fucking QB that can game. Look at
Who?
Taylor Heineke. Just drive down
Taylor
on Tampa
Heineke.
Bay. Just fucking ball. That dude balls. I want a fucking baller.
Now, from an arm talent and overall 17-game quarterback perspective, Kirk Cousins is a bit more talented
For sure.
quarterback than Taylor Heineke.
But when it comes down to winning a fucking game, the dude wins.
Okay, he's got the it factor, you want to call it.
I want that.
Did he
I don't
win it?
care if I sacrifice
Did he win in the
talent.
playoffs last year?
I don't care if I sacrifice talent. He was thrown into the game.
No, he wasn't. He played the
didn't
week
play-
17.
He played 2 games in the whole season.
And then he played the team that won the Super Bowl.
What's the record
In the
right now?
playoffs.
And then the next time they faced each other, what did he do? He fucking took the ball for 12 minutes while Tom Brady sat on the fucking sideline and won it.
I'm just saying, since 2000, the year 2000, 3 quarterbacks have won it 11 times. You want a guy who can ball? There's barely any quarterbacks that are playing in the league today that have won it in the last 10 years.
Yeah, because
Tom
Brady
Brady's
takes them
done
all.
it most of the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
So we sit here and we talk
So
about
what do you
quarterback.
need? What do you need? You need someone who can fucking beat Tom Brady. That's what you need.
Who does that?
You need someone who can beat Aaron
Should we
Rodgers.
go get Nick Foles? Because Nick Foles did it.
Yeah, there's some guys that just have the
Who
effect.
beats Aaron
Nick
Rodgers?
Foles,
Everybody
Taylor
beats
Heineke.
Aaron Rodgers in
How
the
did they do
playoffs.
in their career? They didn't do shit. But if you can beat a fucking legend when it matters, that's what you do. Eli Manning. He's a Hall of Famer because he beat fucking Tom Brady twice.
I don't think Eli is a Hall of Famer, but that's another conversation.
He's going to be.
He shouldn't
You
be.
bring
He's
up Aaron
going to be.
Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers loses every year in the playoffs besides 2011.
Why? Because
with
he
the best
faces
team.
a
With-
better team.
So now it's a team game.
It's always been a team game, but
It was-
when it
you were
comes
just
down
talking
to
about
the
quarterbacks.
moment, your fucking quarterback has to pull the sack up and do it.
When it
Your
when it
team-
comes down to the moment, last year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Aaron Rodgers had a clear walk in, decides not to go for it. Decides not to just pretty much walk in the end zone and score the touchdown.
I'm not talking about less. I can't even remember fucking 3 plays from this week's games.
But yet we're judging Kirk Cousins on the whole season.
Yes, because he's not the quarterback who will win us a fucking Super Bowl.
I'm saying most quarterbacks don't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm saying, who are we going to go get? Taylor Heineke's not the guy who's going to do it. He's not
Okay.
going to win a Super Bowl with Washington. Who are we going to go get?
Draft someone forever.
If
until
it
you
was-
have
I'm telling
your
you
guy.
right now, any head
If it
coach
was
that
that
you bring
easy.
in, any head coach that you bring in is going to want Kirk Cousins under contract for one more season. You don't have a better option than Kirk Cousins unless you draft somebody, which maybe they'll do that. I
We
don't know.
act like
The team-
finding the right quarterback is the easiest thing in the world when there's barely any good quarterbacks in the NFL on a 17-game basis. There's hardly
there's
any.
There's some good NFL quarterbacks. I'm
How many of them
watching
do you
2 tonight.
trust? How many do you trust in the playoffs? Do you
I
trust
trust-
Mac Jones in the playoffs?
I trust him more than Kirk.
I mean,
I trust
But
him
what-
on
what makes
New
you trust
England
him
more
more
than
than
I
Kirk?
trust Kirk on Minnesota. But I'm a paranoid motherfucker.
when you're talking about Tampa Bay beaters, Taylor Heineke was on this fucking team. He was on our team.
I just can't go down the Heineke road.
You're picking a guy that has not proven it and that's played okay for some of the season. He's not
And
played
plus-
as a extremely talented quarterback this year that can bring your team back and win games.
Taylor Heineke got cut from this team because he was in a position to be the backup quarterback, and in the preseason, he decided it was a smart idea to try and kick in his sliding glass door in his basement and cut his foot open.
Taylor Heineke's only playing because the starting quarterback had a hip subflexion.
You never
that
been
cost him the
21
season.
and dumb, 22 and dumb.
I'm just saying, my potential franchise quarterback, I want a little bit smarter than that.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it. None of us are sitting in a fucking NFL.
Well,
room making
let's
decisions.
put you in it right now. If
I'll
you're
play
the
armchair
G-
What I'm trying
quarterback.
to explain is what you need is a great team to play 58 minutes of great football and hopefully put you in a position to
60.
win.
And then you need your quarterback
And
to
then you need
take
your
it over.
quarterback for the last 2 minutes to win you that fucking game.
Yes, you do.
You want to be in a position to win a game against a great team. And this team, I think, is talented enough to play 50, 55 minutes of great football. I don't know if they're good enough to play 60 minutes.
And you're going to put that all on Kirk Cousins.
And our quarterback in the last 2 minutes is not great enough to win us those games.
I want Kirk Cousins on this team next year with a new head coach. That's what I want.
I don't
And
want
if it's
that
the
person.
same Kirk Cousins next year, that's fine. We can move on.
Do
We
you
lose
put
to
any-
the Vikings, and I'm still sitting here. Listen to the
Brandon,
Lions.
is that-
I'm
Do you
still
put
sitting
any
here wearing
blame
my
on the
fucking
fact that we've had an offensive coordinator carousel and he hasn't had the same offensive coordinator
No,
at
I
all?
don't.
And
He's
I'm
33.
still going to say the offensive line. I don't think we need to go get fucking defensive backs when we're still giving up 30 fucking points a game
But that's-
if we're not protecting our investment.
That's not Cousins' fault, though.
Whose fault is it? It's the coach's fault for not hammering the desk enough for a fucking lineman? It's the general manager's fault
It
for
would,
getting
go
the wrong
into, it
guy?
would go into upper office, and if they're giving Mike Zimmer personnel decisions and he's out there making them, part of making them, and you're signing
us-
all defensive players, that's part of it.
None
and
of
it
us
also
know
goes on to
where the
Spielman.
decision's made.
The decisions come
Where
down
the
to
playbooks
Spielman
are
and Zimmer.
called, where the plays are coming from, where the contracts are coming from. No one knows who does it.
The players on the
We can
team come
assume.
down to Spielman and Zimmer. Those are the two guys it comes down to.
Rick Spielman said the day that they hired Mike Zimmer, this is a three-headed decision-making process. Talking about head coach, ownership, GM. They're all in it together.
So the Wilfs are involved.
The Wilfs ultimately sign off as a yes or no. The
course.
Wilfs had to say yes to
'Cause they're
Kirk
paying
Cousins,
it.
or it wouldn't have happened.
Yes.
But they don't make the decision as far as say, I think we should go after this guy. They're just ultimately the
That's
yes man.
kind of like a Jerry Jones. Jerry's the guy that's like, I want him.
Right,
Jerry's the GM
Get him.
and the owner.
right.
Well,
They
he's
don't
both.
have a GM. He does both.
He is, yeah. He's both.
But Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer make decisions together. When it's personnel decisions, they're made together.
You think it's a 50-50?
I don't know. I'm not in the room with them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I have and I continue to think every defensive draft pick that's made is the guy that Mike Zimmer wants. For instance, when they drafted Jeff Gladney instead of drafting the cornerback that went to Chicago. What's his name? He's pretty good now.
Johnson?
Yes.
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was Mike Zimmer wanted Jeff Gladney.
Do you think it's A or B, or is it, do you like A?
No, I think what it is obviously Zimmer and Spielman talk, and
Yeah,
they
of
have
course.
a big board.
Yeah.
But Zimmer will say, I like this guy a little more than that guy. Spielman would say, I like this guy more than that guy. I think it's definitely a little bit of both.
They
But-
both could have liked Gladney over Jalen Johnson at that point.
But I think
We
if
don't know.
Spielman liked Jalen Johnson and Zimmer really liked Jeff Gladney, I think Zimmer would get Jeff Gladney because ultimately Zimmer has to coach the guy.
Yeah.
Like it's ultimately Zimmer's the one that has to deal with the guy in the room every day.
But is that the decision you would make as GM, or is that the decision?
No, that's
Spielman's
the
making
issue
as
that I
GM?
have with the GM and owner or the head coach dynamic right now in Minnesota is I think the GM needs to push away the head coach at times and say, no, we're making this move because it's best for the team. Now, I'm not saying that or
None of
a
us are
draft
in
pick
the
of a rookie
fucking-
cornerback is truly going to be a situation where a GM can put their foot down. But if the Vikings truly had interest in, let's just say, Justin Fields this offseason, because there was rumors that they did.
There was from our good source Kyle.
Yeah.
He was telling us that they were making a move, but they didn't want to give up enough to get him, and the Bears gave up enough
Correct.
to get the draft pick that would get him ultimately.
But to me, that's ultimately a failure of Spielman if they don't make the move to go get a guy like Justin Fields, a quarterback that could potentially be a franchise-changing quarterback. Because there's only one reason why you don't make that move, and it's because you want more draft capital for later. Who gives a shit if you want more draft capital for later?
Well,
That quarterback could be a top 10 quarterback in the entire NFL, and
But
you
when-
could have him on a rookie contract for 5 seasons. That's how you win a Super Bowl.
If you have a quarterback on your roster that you're paying $35 million this year,
That you're not bound to past this year, though.
and you have many holes, offensive line, cornerback, defensive holes, depth positions that
That's
need
a
to be
head coach
filled.
thing, though.
Is that a head coach thing, or is that a GM thing?
That's 100% a head coach saying, I need a roster for the season. It's a GM's job to say, this quarterback is potentially transformational, and this could take our team to a level we've never seen. That's what a GM should do.
But you have to field a fucking team that's competent.
I agree with that 100%.
You have to field a team that brings fucking people's asses into the seats
but
and
then,
buys jerseys.
then you're
and
never going to
all
go
this
through a
stuff.
rebuild. You'll never go through a rebuild with that mentality because
We've never. We don't.
But see, that's the thing.
That's the problem.
we're just mediocre enough to fucking not rebuild, and not good enough to fucking make a move.
I think we're in a spot most of the time with our head coach and our GM that they can't make the move and keep their job.
And
Last
they know
year,
that.
they could not make the move to go for Justin Fields and keep their job if it didn't work out. Not to mention that he's sitting for most of this year, most likely the entire year anyways.
As he should
With
be.
their ass on the line and they trade a bunch of capital to not field a team,
If
they're going to lose their
on
jobs.
your asses too, you're going to lose your jobs.
Well, yeah, but they're just extending their life. It's like Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy drafting Justin Fields is what saved him his job this year, and he's not going to have it next year. But that's not necessarily all because of Justin Fields. It's because of other personnel decisions that he's made and just the way that their team with solid players has performed. But that's where Spielman and Zimmer are. They've been on the hot seat for the last 2 to 3 years, and they've done just enough to be competent to keep this team alive, afloat, competitive, so they can keep their jobs.
I guess the $1 million question is, are you okay with mediocrity? Because that's exactly what this regime has brought. Mike Zimmer's about a 500 head coach. He doesn't beat the really good teams. He had been up to this year beating the really bad teams, but he's lost to a couple bad teams this year. Like, ultimately, as a fan, is that what you want? Is a team that every other year you're going to make the playoffs and you might win a cute little wild card game down in New Orleans, but then you're going to have to fly out to Candlestick Park in San Francisco and you're going to get destroyed by a team that is much better built than you, much stronger than you. That 49ers team absolutely dismantled the Vikings 2 years ago. And it dismantled most teams.
On week 1?
No, in
No,
week
the
2.
playoffs.
That was when the Niners were the number 1 seed and they went to the Super Bowl against Kansas
Oh.
City. But
That
you're
was like
never,
3 years
ever...
ago now, right?
That was 2 years ago. Two playoffs ago. It'll be 3.
It'll be
come this
3,
playoff.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so 3 years
But
ago almost.
you're never, ever, 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 ever going to have a roster like that with this GM and this head coach based on past precedent. Rick Spielman's been the general manager of this team for
a
like
long
15
time.
plus years.
Yeah.
He's been the guy that's
We've
been
seen a lot of guys
acquiring
come and
all
go.
this talent. And if you look at our first round draft picks, there's been some nice ones, but there's been some fucking busts as well.
There's been a lot more busts.
So ultimately,
And,
my
when
thing
you hit a
is
5th round Everson Griffin and a 6th round Stephon Diggs,
It makes it look a lot better.
holy cow.
a first
It's really
round.
great.
Yeah.
We
But
do
I
hit,
think you could have 10 of those guys and have one fucking pick the lineman. What the fuck? The tackle.
Darrisaw?
Not Darius. Darius is all
O'Neal?
right. Oh, no, O'Neal's all right too. But
are you talking on our team or somebody?
yeah,
Oh, you're
Khalil?
talking about Matt Khalil, yeah.
I mean, that wipes away 10 of those guys.
Well, Jeff Gladney, terrible. Now it's off the field stuff.
Mike
Trey
Hughes?
Waynes, first round pick, awful player. Mike Hughes, terrible player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Garrett Bradbury, you draft a center in the first round. This is supposed to be your fucking center. The best center you've had since Matt Burke. That dude can't plant in the ground and keep his spot on the field. He gets pushed around by nose tackles like he's a rag doll. That's not good when that's your first round pick.
There's
And
a
I'm not
lot of
gonna
first
try
round
and-
picks that fall flat, though.
I-
That are not up to the potential of where they're drafted in
That's
the first
fair, but when you look at a bust rate like that,
round. We do it.
and then you add on
We
a head
have-
coach that doesn't develop talent quite as well. Like Mike Zimmer is supposed to be a defensive guru, and most importantly,
Defensive back.
a defensive back guru. When was the last defensive back that he truly groomed to be something outside of Xavier Rhodes?
And
It hasn't happened.
to relate this back to the game, I mean, we're talking about a thousandth of a second away from Harrison Smith creating a fumble on the second to last play of the game.
That's football, man.
It's football. It comes down to milliseconds and ball luck, and it just wasn't there.
But the things that bother me is like, for instance, in the Green Bay game, at the end of the game, we did a great job of milking down the clock and bleeding it as much as possible while still scoring.
The timeouts were excellent.
In this Detroit game,
How did you feel about
we could have bled the clock down even more than we did. Now I know Detroit went for it and they didn't get it, and we had the ball at their 25. But
And Detroit
you still could have
had
bled
a-
the clock down.
Detroit had a better coaching move in that less than 2 minutes it was? Or it was like 5 minutes
Like
left.
4. It was 4.
4 minutes left. We're down on the 12-yard line, and it's a 2nd and 2, and they jump off sides. That was probably a coach's decision to tell someone to jump because it took away our play, it took away our first down, and it now turns to 1st and goal, where we had the opportunity to run a couple more plays before getting a first down, and bleed that clock down to almost nothing.
All we needed was to run 14 seconds off.
That first down won Detroit the game, I think.
Do you think that Mike Zimmer has the wherewithal to make that call?
Mike,
I don't think so.
I don't. I think he's completely incapable as a time management coach.
I think when it comes down to the 2-minute warning,
how'd you feel about his timeouts on defense at the end of the game?
I'm not
Do you wish they would have just played?
I'm not upset with the defensive timeouts, but I am upset with how they played that. Jared Goff is like the worst quarterback in the league when it comes to getting pressured. I would have liked to see him mix in a little bit of prevent with pressure.
Yeah, and the Harrison Smith blitz didn't get there. It was a good one though.
That was a nice call.
It was. I mean, he did that a little bit, and there was the running back Jamal Williams was wide open at the pylon during that play. Comes back with the opposite side, just button hook,
and Mike Zimmer even said after the game he didn't trust his cornerbacks in order to put pressure on the quarterback. He didn't trust his cornerbacks, which I kind of get, but ultimately they're your cornerbacks.
Yeah, it's just tough. It's a rough team.
I've seen enough complete blunders from Mike Zimmer in key situations that I know what he is as a head coach when it comes to time management, and I don't trust him at all.
Was Kendricks a game time decision?
Yeah.
Game day for sure.
There was a lot built up against us. Thursday Night Football this week against a good Pittsburgh team that also tied Detroit.
And this Vikings team, it's
true.
entirely possible this Vikings team comes out and beats Pittsburgh Thursday night.
Really?
It's entirely possible.
Oh, yeah.
What we're good at is we're good at beating the teams that we're not supposed to beat, which I'm not saying Pittsburgh is one of those teams.
Right.
And we're good at losing to teams that we should beat.
Right now, we're the favorites. We're favored by 3.5.
All things considered, beginning of the year, we should have beat Cincinnati.
Yes.
We should have ended up beating Arizona, but Arizona, by all accounts, is one of the best teams in the league.
Baltimore.
We should have beat Baltimore.
This is the other thing that's weird about the NFL, though, is if you would have beat Cincinnati and you would have beat either Seattle or Arizona.
We beat Seattle.
Or sorry, then you would have won one of the two, Seattle and Arizona, and you would be 2-1. Momentum in the NFL is a weird thing, and the
Could have been
Vikings just
3-0 at
never
that point.
got it.
Come back home.
Yeah.
The Vikings never got the momentum. They beat Green Bay, and they think, okay, cool, now we got a big game against San Francisco. You don't play well enough to beat San Francisco. You play well enough to be in the game, but you don't play well enough to beat them.
No. And then you fluff a Lions team, probably looking forward to Pittsburgh on Thursday night. I'm thinking it's in the game already.
Losses like that are what get head coaches fired.
And
And
this
I
could
will
snowball.
not be sad when Mike Zimmer gets fired at the end of the season. I won't.
I will be.
Do you think he lasts till the end of the season?
I think at this point he does.
I don't see the purpose in not having him there.
Unless it gets really bad.
But even at that point, why? I mean, if we do have a snowball's chance in hell and we end up pulling it together and we make the playoffs, which there still is a chance, but to me, I don't, at this point, like, obviously I want to win and I want the team to go out there and win, but betterment of the team at this point, because I don't think we're going to make a serious run, is to not win these games. That's what's the betterment for the future of this team. But for the right now, if we did make it to playoffs, we'd be better off. Bad news. That's bad news. We'd be better off with Mike Zimmer as head coach than having some interim head coach come in and run the offense.
I will say this: if Zimmer gets fired, during season, I think Spielman would be here to stay. If he doesn't get fired this year, it's probably a clean house situation.
It makes me so nervous, and I'm okay with it, I will say. But it makes me very nervous thinking about cleaning house and starting completely over. Just because...
But is it nervous or is it excitement?
It's excited nervousness. But Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman have been... Rick Spielman, I don't know why, but I personally feel like Rick Spielman's been an above-average GM. I think he's been like a B-B GM. Mike Zimmer, I feel like, has been about the same as a head coach. He's been about a B- a B. Now, I want the Vikings to be
an A.
Yeah, I want this team to be a team that goes 11-6, 12-5 regularly. Like, that's not a surprise when they do that. That's what I want this team to be. And I'm fully aware that in order for that to be this team, you might have to cut loose Spielman and Zimmer. But it could also completely go the other way.
And
I'm at
have to
peace
go
with-
through
I'm
a
at peace
couple
with
years
that.
of shit.
Yeah.
I want a couple years of shit. I want a blue chip guy that changes the face of your franchise like Justin Jefferson has. But I want the guy. Not like JJ, Randy Moss. You got him here, and they're turning into something amazing. Let's get the guy.
Yeah.
Not something that turns into it.
Sometimes
The
it does
guy.
have to get really bad before it gets better, and this might just be the start of what's going to be really bad. This to me seems like a team that's primed to quit.
Our luck that we've had when it comes to like drafting quarterbacks and finding the guy is that we're going to be in a situation like what's happening this year. Trevor Lawrence has looked bad. Zach Wilson has looked bad. Mac Jones hasn't really played, but when he's been the starter, hasn't been great.
Mac Jones?
Mac Jones is the only one, but he went
Justin
15
Fields.
overall.
Field-
I didn't get to Mac Jones yet. You jumped it.
No, you said Mac
You
Jones.
said Mac
hasn't been-
Jones.
Did I?
Yeah.
I meant Trey Lance. I apologize.
Trey
Trey
Lance has not had the
has played a little
opportunity.
bit, not a lot. Justin Fields has not been the guy this year. So those are the blue chip guys that went. Mac Jones wasn't considered a blue chip guy.
But
Yeah, he was.
across
No, not compared to
across
the other four.
Across analysts, he was the most NFL ready. The other guys are more talented, but you're talking about NFL ready. Mac Jones can sit in a pocket and throw a ball.
Mac Jones would not have the success that Mac Jones has if he was in a different system. He fell into an amazing spot.
If he would have gone to New Orleans, I think he'd be having a pretty good year.
Mm.
There's
And
teams-
how would you feel with
But-
Trey Lance in our backfield instead of Kirk Cousins right now
I think that's part of the issue, though, is we need the right people in place
to make those
to
decisions?
make that happen. The reason Mac Jones works so well in New England is because of the system they have built. But they've been building that system for 20 years. Most teams, not another single team, has been able to build a team like New England has in a system with the same head coach for that long.
There's only two other teams that are even, three other teams that are even close to that.
Pittsburgh.
Baltimore, and New Orleans.
And they're not even quite as close. They're still 5, 6, 7 years
They're
off.
not on the same level as New England, no. But those teams have clear cultures. When you think of New Orleans, you think of a good offense, Sean Payton, gritty defense. I hate Sean Payton, but he's a fucking great head coach. Same with Harbaugh and Tomlin. Tomlin's probably the most flawed of the four, to be honest with you.
I think so.
And like to piggyback off of Brandon's point with Mac Jones, like sure he's a great quarterback, but he also went from Nick Saban to Bill Belichick, the two greatest coaches
in their sport. Yeah.
But you're talking about like having to quit though, like with our team that we've built here, it is just about to start rolling. Like I think we will streak. Either the team will quit and we will go 0-5 in these last 5 games, or we will fucking win 5 straight and make the playoffs. Because a running first team that's built off play action and disguises and setting stuff up, this is when that shit hits. You know, you show film for 10 weeks of how you do things, and then you come out and you hit Justin Jefferson for 200 yards and a couple scores. Like, we're just starting to get this ball rolling.
But is that going to happen with Madison and no Thielen?
Probably
and
not.
A banged up offensive line and no defensive play?
And whoever's in there, if they really want to play on Sunday, or do they not want to?
Well, like, where's Brandon at with this team right now?
I think the team has a lot of talent. I think there has been injury, but I think injury happens every year to all teams. Some get it worse than others. I mean, we've seen the Chargers who have had injury issues year after year after year. But Kendricks is one of the best at his position. Barr has all the talent in the world. Harrison Smith is one of the best, has been one of the best safeties in the league. This year hasn't been showing it. Patrick Peterson, very good. Xavier Woods. He's a solid guy. We had Daniil Hunter at the beginning of the year. We had Everson Griffin, Michael Pierce, Dalvin Tomlinson. We grabbed Sheldon Richardson. Like, we have all the talent in the world on defense. And I get a lot of these guys have obviously
every single name you mentioned besides Xavier Woods has missed a significant chunk of the year.
I get that, but how often are we going to make the excuse that it's going to be better next year when the guys are healthy, when the guys are never healthy? The guys are always hurt. Daniil Hunter missed all last season. Harrison missed a few games last year. We obviously didn't have Woods, and we didn't have Peterson. But Michael
Kendricks
Pierce
is the only guy on that list that
has been healthy.
Yes. Yep.
Which I get, but at a certain point, then you need to move on and find more talented guys that can stay on or maybe not more talented, but guys that can stay on the field. or you have to get the most out of the guys that are stepping up. Next man mentality. On the offense, Kirk Cousins can throw the ball. As much as if you don't like that he's not a 2-minute guy, which I'm not going to disagree with you on, he can throw the ball. Dalvin Cook is one of the best in the league when he's on the field. He was on the field almost every game last season, but we didn't make enough happen out of it. Justin Jefferson came through. Adam Thielen's a star wide receiver. We have guys that can catch the ball, but we just can't get it done. And I think a lot of that comes down to coaching.
I agree.
I don't think Kirk Cousins, he's not a Mahomes. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Justin Herbert. Not even those levels of guys. But I think he's competent enough, if we get the most out of our team, that we can make a good run and that we can win. But I don't think that we're coached well enough to win.
And I think you can win a lot of football games with Kirk Cousins. I really do.
I think after the game that we all watched in New Orleans and we lost to the Eagles 38-7, I think after that, Mike Zimmer has not been ready for a big game. We've won a playoff game since then, but I don't think he's been ready, and I don't think this team has been prepared enough or nearly as good as we were that season. And I don't think it all came down to quarterback play.
Do you think Spielman's in the right spot, or do you think we should clean house?
I think I like Spielman more than I like Zimmer.
I do too.
My own personal opinion. Because, I mean...
It's not an answer.
Yeah.
No, that's an answer.
No, it's not.
Brandon says he's in favor of keeping Spielman, but he's not going to be upset if he leaves.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean...
That's an answer.
Well, I was still talking. Spielman has put in good players in this position with Zimmer and without Zimmer.
He's made some good trades.
So, if Spielman's put good players on the field, with and without Zimmer, and
he's also had his slew of bad picks, too, though.
And neither
Which
one has
happens,
gotten
though.
things done. Why should Spielman stay over Zimmer?
I guess the best analogy I would have is if I'm in charge of finding you a car that can run, but you don't know how to drive it, that's not my fault.
But if you give me a car that doesn't run,
What car have I given
what
you?
does
That
it matter how I drive if it's just stuck in my driveway?
if you can't drive a stick, that's not my fault. If we talk about it and we talk it over, and you're saying, yeah, I can do it. I can make this work. I can get from 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. I can do that. And I put that car in your driveway.
Yeah, my manual's stuck in my driveway. I don't remove it, and then I get fired. And you get the next guy here who drives a stick, and he backs out of the driveway and it breaks down.
It can happen. Players can get hurt, though. That's not out of the question, if that's what you mean by breaking down. If you mean by breaking down, it just can't get the job done, that happens as well.
Exactly. And when you mention the defensive players on your big list there, and literally the entire list besides one has seen significant timeout, do you think that does add to average points against? That's pretty high against the Minnesota Vikings defense that used to be good.
I think Zimmer should be able
there?
to have guys prepared to be in the game. I think that on that...
I don't think you can go next guy up when you have 2 linemen, 2 linebackers, and 2 cornerbacks all hurt.
Okay, so how often are you going to give Zimmer that excuse?
When there's 6 guys hurt, when you have half of your starting lineup out. That's when the excuse is not an excuse.
It's every other
it's
year.
Reality.
The excuse is there for him every other year, though.
My problem with that whole idea, though, is it doesn't matter what players you have on the field. Time management.
That is without a doubt. Is time management losing us 7 games?
It's losing us at least a couple of years.
It's maybe lost us a couple a year.
We've lost 8 games because of the 2-minute drill and not being able to stop a team.
We've lost 6 games.
Sorry, we've had 8 games where we have not been able to make a stop in the 2-minute drill.
I mean, you guys, just think about this season, for instance. Mike Zimmer is a defensive coach. If all else is failing on this team, our defense should at least be able to be
competent.
Not great, competent. He has allowed Sam Darnold to drive down the field and tie the game to go to overtime. He's allowed Cooper Rush to put a game-winning drive together to beat his team. And now he just allowed Jared Goff to drive down the field and win the game for the Detroit Lions.
Jared Goff was the number 1 overall pick.
He's not
Sam
good.
Darnold was the number 2 overall
He's
pick.
not good.
Okay, why were they drafted there? Because they were not good?
Why are they on different teams and not the team that drafted them? Especially when Sam Darnold was still on a rookie contract. And Jared Goff is gone because the whole city lost faith in him. And he hasn't won a game because he's not a competent quarterback.
It's not true.
Jared Goff can run an offense.
He had not won a game until he played us because of his ability.
I'm not actually going to identify that as a real NFL game. What just happened on Sunday?
Let's move on past the Vikings. You guys know how we feel. It's pretty upsetting. The other upsetting part of Sunday football was Travis Kelce.
I completely
Kansas
forgot
City
we even had
Chiefs
this to talk about.
Situation. We had, is that still running?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at 2,800.
Wicked.
It's going to be a fun one to cut up.
Just post the whole fucking thing as one. Part 1, part 2.
2-hour episode?
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't care. I'll post it. We had...
Listen to what you want or don't.
Yeah, skip ahead. I think we got to Vikings about halfway through this episode.
Somewhere.
At 2,000, we got to Vikings.
Let's do a fucking 5-hour episode, eh, boys?
Oh, Jesus, no, thank you.
Start commenting live on the football game here.
Gabe.
Gage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The Kansas City Chiefs game came on after a really good afternoon game, and it's been what the Chiefs have been the last few weeks. It's been a little bit of rumbling, stumbling, a little bit more stumbling than rumbling, and there's a Travis Kelce catch over the middle.
Incomplete catch is what it was ruled.
It's ruled on the ball, incomplete. Upon further review, slow motion, looks like Travis Kelce takes 2 steps and the ball's punched out. Coach throws a challenge on it. Comes back, call stands. And what bothers me is that I feel like if Kansas City was on defense, that play would be ruled a fumble. Because Kansas City is one of the favorite teams with one of the favorite players in the league.
Well, with
when you really
arguably
slow
the
it down,
face of the league.
when you really slow it down, yeah, I mean the $500 million guy, Patrick Mahomes. When you really slow it down, he takes 3 steps. The third step, his left foot is touching for a second time to make 3 steps while the ball is being punched out.
Did they have a view
Almost
that
simultaneously.
completely showed that the foot was down clearly before the ball was getting punched out?
It has to be inconclusive to
There
reverse
can't
it.
be-
And when it says call stands, it means the rule in the field was correct. It was call confirmed, and they confirmed that it wasn't a catch.
Yes. So they didn't have enough evidence to say that it was clearly that his foot was down before the ball started coming loose.
What is a catch in the NFL?
Well, technically a catch has got to be 2 feet, and as you go to the ground, you have to complete the catch.
You have to maintain the
You have to
possession of the ball.
maintain possession is the exact right word. Because in the end zone, you can have 2 feet down, but if you hit the ground,
and the ball comes out.
it's not a touchdown.
Was Travis Kelce falling to the ground, or was the ball punched out?
As he was being tackled, as he was getting hit, I believe he fell to the ground. I believe he ended up getting tackled on that play.
He walked away from the play. He didn't get tackled. The ball was punched out, and he stood up. As he stands, the ball's punched out of his hands. He not only took 2 steps, he also put out his arm. He was doing a football move, trying to stiff arm the defender as it punched out the ball.
Here's what happened. What they did is they called it an incomplete catch from the start. And then they did not have enough evidence to overturn that it was not an incomplete catch.
All that is the NFL getting in that head referee's fucking ear and saying, this one's not going their way.
I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with
They're
that at
straight
all.
up talking to New York. And fucking
Well, they are talking to New York. That's the thing that they do.
Goodell
that
is
is
in
their
the
job.
office, and he's going, hey, buddy, that one's got to go for Kansas City. It's going to be a close one. This one can't go that way. They can't get the ball on the fucking 30-yard line. Kansas City incomplete.
Well, okay.
It's
Are we
almost
gonna,
as bad as the Zeke thing the other
how
last
conspiratorial are we getting here? Because the Vikings have kind of been whipping boys the last couple of years for teams coming off of pretty horrific things happening to them.
Since Michael Zimmer called out the referees, we have had some of the worst officiating I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, the
The season
Superdome.
started with pretty horrible officiating. Cincinnati, the Cook fumble. Are we going to forget about that one?
I didn't
That's
forget about
true.
His
it.
butt fucking hits the ground.
People don't
Yeah, but
forget.
if Kirk Cousins could have scored just one more touchdown.
Well, if Kirk Cousins would have
When
just
your
lined
ball's
up
being
under
stolen away from you, Kirk Cousins doesn't even get a chance to
if Kirk would have
line up
just
under
lined
guard.
up under the fucking guard instead of the center, it never would have even got to Cookie Monster. It's Kirk's fault.
Cook
That's
took
true.
away Kirk's
That's true.
chance to line up under guard. We
That's
could have seen that
fucking
week
bullshit.
1 and moved on. Traded for Tyler Heineke, a guy who could win the game.
God.
I
Spielman sucks.
just
Fire Spielman.
The issue that the
bring it
NFL
for the
has.
Vikings for one fucking time, please.
We did. We had the Minneapolis Miracle. They rigged that for us.
I want a Super Bowl.
I won a Super Bowl, and I want it now.
The issue the NFL has is a lot of these plays are coming down to bang bang plays with not good enough footage.
Already won.
Well, Josh Allen scored the touchdown. They don't have good enough footage or enough camera angles on a lot of these plays to show
Sad violin.
exactly what's happening. So they don't have a camera that can see exactly when the ball's coming loose on Dalvin Cook.
It's
and when his
Sunday
ass
Night
hits the
fucking
ground.
football. There was cameras all over. He took
They
3
do
steps
get an
and
extra
punched it
7
out.
cameras for Sunday Night Football than the Vikings and Lions had.
But
Scott, how many
That's-
times did Travis Kelce's feet touch the ground before the ball was punched out?
2 3/4.
What does a catch in the NFL require?
Football move.
2 steps and a football move.
Yeah.
No, it's 2 steps with possession of the ball. 2 steps with possession of the ball.
You got to make a football move too.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
I'm pretty sure you got to make a football move, which could be really consistent of anything.
Falling?
Pretty
That's
much.
a football move? No.
No.
Or does it have to be like
Alex,
an actual...
you're on Google, correct?
Or does it have to be like a turn-up field or like a stiff arm or a
What
spin
is
move?
an
jump
NFL
back.
catch?
Not to mention you have
Possession
to
of
maintain
the ball
possession
and
through
2 steps.
You have to maintain possession
Through
the
the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just... I know Gage is all about conspiracies, but if they would have called that a fumble on the field, I think it would have remained a fumble as well.
It would have.
I think the original ruling is the
that's-
only reason why.
That's what I was getting to
Yeah.
earlier is a lot of these calls are coming down to the point where whatever is called on the field, they have to leave because they don't have enough evidence to overturn it.
So these 3 things qualify for a catch. Gets control of the ball with his hands or arms before the ball touches the ground. Gets 2 feet or one other body part other than a hand on the ground in balance. Maintains control of the ball after he's done both of the first 2 things until he establishes himself as a runner.
Which that didn't happen.
It didn't.
I thought this is going to be a clip of it. It's just Vic Fangio sounding like Gage's rage about it. Where's the fucking play? Damn it! That should be a top YouTube search.
I found it on Twitter last night, and the issue I had when I found it on Twitter is they didn't show the camera angle of his 3rd foot.
Who cares?
Well,
about
that's
the
gonna be
third
hard to
fucking
find.
Foot? I just
Because
want
if
to
he-
see him not get tackled.
Let me look it up.
That's all I want to see because he didn't go to the ground. The ball was just punched out.
And do a football move after he.
He's stiff arming. He's trying to stiff arm the guy who was trying to tackle him.
But did he establish himself as a runner before he did that?
I
A
would.
football move establishes him as a runner, does it not?
Well, yeah.
If that play happens in the end zone, what's it ruled?
Touchdown.
Every fucking time. How can it be a touchdown
That would
and
not-
not a
that
catch?
would-
But it would have been ruled
No,
a
no,
touchdown
no.
because they would have called it a touchdown.
It would not have been ruled a touchdown because as he was going out, if that thing got hit, if his 3rd foot would have hit out of bounds, it still wouldn't have been called a touchdown because he would have had to maintain the possession.
Show the play.
I'm-
Show him
I'm-
being tackled. It's not there.
I'm trying to
He
find it.
doesn't
dude.
go to
You-
the fucking ground. My point is, if you're going to use slow-mo to determine possession in an end zone, you're not going to use slow-mo in the fucking field of play.
Clearly goes to the ground. Clearly goes to the ground. Look at this. Clearly to the ground.
Are you fucking insane? He landed on his feet.
I don't know. I agree in the sense of I think it's an incomplete pass, but I mean, Gage has a point too, in my opinion.
Oh, here. Here's
If
the
that
full
was
thing,
in the
Alex.
end zone,
It's a touchdown.
it's a touchdown.
His knee
dude.
hits the ground. He clearly
it's a
goes to the
fucking
ground.
touchdown.
It is
And
not
I'll
a
tell you right
touchdown.
now, Kansas City's on defense. That's a touchdown for Kansas City's defense.
No, it's not.
Fumble, recovered, touchdown, and then they go back and look at it and go inconclusive.
Because we talk a lot of fantasy football, think about that when you pick up DST's people. Is it an NFL fan favorite?
Tampa Bay,
Yeah.
top end.
Kansas City, boom. Add it. Russell Wilson Seahawks, they might be percolating. They're now what, 4-8?
chance with the Vikings loss.
If they go
in the
5-0 the rest of the year, that's 9-8.
In the
I'd be
hunt.
willing
Is that on
to
his
bet
feet?
you.
Is that on his feet right there? Or is his knee down, which means
That's-
he's going to the ground?
Are you using slow mo in me? You fucking.
Is he on the ground
disgraceful
right there?
Piece of shit.
Is he on the ground right there? Is he laying down on the ground?
That's after a whole catch. That's after
is
two
he,
plays.
Or is he
laying
on
on
his
the ground.
feet? Is he on the ground
He's
or is he
laying
on
the
his
ground.
feet right there?
He's laying on the ground.
I was told that Travis Kelce never went to the ground.
What timestamp is that at, Brandon?
5 seconds.
That's 5. That's 3 plays in the NFL.
Yeah, that's like
That's so inconclusive.
Tyreek Hill
Ball
running to the
thrown.
end
Ball
zone
doesn't
and
come
back
out of
again.
Patrick Mahomes' hands until 2 seconds. So within 3 seconds of the ball coming out of Mahomes' hands, Travis Kelce is on the ground.
Wait a minute. Are you fucking using slow-mo and pausing and shit to figure out if this was a catch or not? How dare you?
How
you?
dare I
It's
use?
not the end zone, you piece of shit. It's
It's
not
an-
allowed.
It's an incomplete pass, and you were getting all upset over nothing.
My
I
ears
bet if
just
that
filled
was-
up with all that bullshit. I have to.
I bet if
shit
that
out.
was Justin
you need to
Jefferson, he
shake
would
a
have held
little bit
on to
longer.
it. Only Travis Kelce's bitch ass drops that ball.
No, JJ would have dropped it because he would have done one of that where he bobbles it in the air.
Are you fucking ripping on Justin Jefferson? Shit.
He wants to fight me now.
He's my dynasty asset. Shut up.
He's your sleeper asset.
That's true too.
I don't have assets. That team's a dumpster fire.
That's nice.
Oof, yeah, I'm out. If you guys don't want to talk about Kelce a little bit more, I'm done.
I don't want to talk about Kelce anymore.
I
I
have-
didn't even want to talk about him a little bit.
I have nothing more to say. I've concluded my
We
argument.
can talk about how bad Patrick Mahomes is.
I get so sick and tired of talking about the Kansas City Chiefs that I just want it to be the playoffs so they can go to the Super Bowl again.
Can you name the top 5 QBs in fantasy football right now?
It's not one I have on my team.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Wait, where's Patrick Mahomes? He should be one.
Taysom Hill.
You're the most ridiculous person I've ever met in my life.
Oh, I got another one.
Air Bear. Justin Air Bear.
Who's had more QB overall 1 finishes in week-to-week basis? Like
Taysom Hill.
there's been 13 of them so far.
Mm-hmm.
Who's had more QB1 overalls? Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes?
Justin
Who's
Air
had
Bear.
more under 15 points?
Justin Herbert is right, Scott.
He's right for
One
both,
high
Scott.
five.
Great job. Double win.
I'm
You
the
got them
best.
both right.
I'm the best guesser.
He's also had the most under 15.
I do not know that stat. You must. You
Patrick
sound very
Mahomes,
confident. Let me look.
Since destroying the
Uh-oh.
Las Vegas Raiders secondary, is averaging a quarter of a touchdown pass a
That was
game.
0.4.
Might be, but math is hard.
See, and here's part of the thing. Fantasy football and real football are different things. He is winning the games.
But that's
That's
what
what
their
they-
defense has become a top 3 defense over that.
They
stretch.
have been playing better, but they haven't needed Patrick Mahomes to air it out completely like he did 3 years ago.
Here's the thing, though. If you're a Chiefs fan, and
You
I
would
think,
be wrong.
I think you like.
Yes, it is 5-5. Justin Herbert has had 5 games under 15 points. Patrick Mahomes has had 5 games under 15 points. Liar!
Now the thing goes down to the
Vindication
tiebreaker.
denied!
In the tiebreaker,
Who's been QB1 more?
and the tiebreaker
And
goes
that would be
down
Justin Herbert!
to Justin
That's a
Herbert
wrap on
having
the fucking show.
under 15.
Check out our
Sooner.
website, www.officialbutthole.com.
Jesus Christ.
We're on all socials at officialbutthole.
This is not over.
Please leave us a rating and review on Apple Music.
The
we'll see you next
outro's
time.
done.
It's done!
There's nothing we can
What's
do.
done is done.
There's no going back.
You can't be vindicated if the outro
Mahomes
hits.
sucks.
Oh my god! I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's not been playing great. But fuck, you gonna say he sucks?
That's what I said.
I
Is he
love
leading
Patrick
his division
Mahomes.
right now?
You
Or?
should be 1 and
Oh.
6.
I think
I
he's
love
leading the
Patrick
division.
Mahomes.
No, did you hit it already?
No.
Okay, you gotta wait.
I think he's
You gotta have
leading.
these on.
The Chiefs won?
They're one.
I think they are one.
Okay, now you hit
And
it.
I'll tell you right now.